evening live from me. And that is because I've had a sick grandbaby for the past couple of days, still do. But she is well enough that I'm going to go live for a little bit and talk about some things. Hey, Belle, can you bring Tutu the lotion, please, from on the TV tray? So hopefully you guys are doing well and are ready for this conversation and all the things that may go with it. Where am I looking for? I'm looking for something that I need to put up here, and I gotta find it. Give me a second. Perfect. There we go. All right. What's up, Tube? Good to see you. Missed you guys. I know I wasn't live yesterday or earlier this morning. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. What's up, Heather? Hey, Lydia. Um, hey, Neuro Mama. What's up, everybody? Hey, Alice. Good evening. Oh, Amy, our Mila girl is really, really sick. She's really, really sick. So much so that I'm kind of watching her for the next little bit, and her pediatrician's office told me to keep an eye on her just to see if we end up having to go to the ER or not. So, yeah, she's just had it really rough. She has a horrible gastrointestinal bug of some sort, and it is not good. Yeah, so the biggest concern right now is dehydration because she's got it from both ends, if you know what I mean, right? Um, Hello, Ella Robinson. Good to see you over there as well. Yeah, so I could have gone live earlier today, but she just wanted to be snuggled. And so literally that's all I did earlier today was just snuggle and push some fluids in her and all of that. So yeah, I took her to the pediatrician yesterday and and it's just a bug. So there's not really sure, there's nothing really they can do. Right. So we're just waiting. And so I've been keeping an eye out on her all day and pushing some fluids and all of that. Appreciate it, you guys. So while she's kind of chilling out with Big Sis over there for a little bit, I decided I would go live, make TikTok happy, and catch up on some news and some things with you guys. I know this is not my normal time to be live, so I appreciate you all joining me. Hey, Sean, good to see you. So hey, Michael, good to see you as well. Hello, Wilma, how are you? So we're just going to kind of dive right in. I apologize in advance for my mods over here on TikTok if the graphic brings poke. No, they didn't, Chris. No, they didn't. They basically told me to keep an eye on things, and if things continued this way by Friday, to bring her back. But what I'm actually going to do is, depending upon how her urine output is, she may end up being seen before Friday again. You know what I mean? Even though I just had her seen yesterday. What's up, Tim? Good to see you. Yeah, Lucid. Mila has been sick. Mila is sick. So hello, Harley Chick. What's up, everybody? So I appreciate everybody joining. My moderators that are on TikTok, I apologize in advance if this graphic brings people in. But it just kind of is what it is. Appreciate you, Sandy, very much for the Guardian. Yeah, Lucid, she's been real sick. So we're kind of doing what we got to do. Hello, Vern. What's up, Deborah? As y'all can see, I literally just threw on a bandana and was like, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, her mom has been at work, and then I've been pushing some Propel in her to try to keep her hydrated as much as I can. Popsicles. She's so cute. She keeps going, Tutu. Is cake sugary? Because she heard the doctor say she can't have anything sugary. So she was like, is cake sugary? And then she asked me if milk was sugary. And I said, no, but milk is dairy too. And she said, dairy, will dairy make me have diarrhea too? And she was like, I really want something, something. She was like, but I know I can't have it. I said, no, baby, not yet. So, hey, Ervet, good to see you as well. So yeah, she's really been going through it, y'all. Oh, it's been rough. Hey, Bella Magoo, can you bring me the lotion, please? Off the TV tray. But I do want to talk about what's been happening kind of around in the world and in our world and with primaries and good evening, Jeff, and with all the things. Yeah, Burke. So, yeah, so no, she won't even, listen, she hasn't wanted any of that, Kimber. So like we've tried. But she hasn't. So today is the first day so far that she's been able to actually eat anything and keep anything in since Sunday. And that's literally just the last little bit. the lotion, baby, right there that I gave you, the shea butter that you put on before you go to school. Thank you. Um, so yeah, so since Sunday, anything that she has eaten has come out one end or the other. So yeah, she didn't even want the bananas. Like I've tried, I literally y'all. So we'll see. Today's the first day that she's been able to keep anything at all, even remotely in, and that's just been this evening. So my biggest concern is just dehydration. Appreciate it, laundry guy. Yeah, my biggest concern is just dehydration. You know, she slept a lot today and just snuggled up, but so we're just gonna kind of see it and see how it goes. Lamonica, did you mean to request up? Oh, boosting. Okay, thanks, appreciate it. Hey, Letty, good to see you. All right. So yep. So actually, yeah. So the pediatrician and I talk about Pedialyte. She doesn't like the taste of Pedialyte, so but she will absolutely drink Propel. And of course, I've been flavoring her water. Hey, Titus, I've just been live a few minutes, like 5 6 minutes. So she's been doing that. She does a great job of drinking water and stuff like that. It's just she just literally she's been so pitiful. Yeah, so she's doing great with her intake. It's just her being able to keep anything in, like literally. So hey, blessed and grateful. All right, so things that I do want to talk about. So our debt hit $40 trillion today. How do we feel about that? Because I feel like what the fuck. Hey, Sin, how are you? Yeah, the debt is you should list the top 10 reasons. Yours is not nearly enough. I don't think I have 10. I think I just have 10 statements. I don't even think I have 10 of them, and I don't think that they're reasons for anything. Right? I don't think they're reasons for anything. 40 trillion, right, Masani, too much winning. So I think, yes, the Treasury is buying back a ton of our bonds right now to try to offset some things. 100%, that is happening. At the same time that we know the yen is also having issues. Prices are through the roof. You got your first yard sign. Love that, Carrie. We are in a losing war. Yeah, our interest in our debt exceeds our annual military expenditure. Just keep coming with the good news. Um, so, Jimmy, I'm not sure exactly what your point is. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. So, Jimmy, why don't you do you want to join? Why don't you just come on up and we can chat? I can't request you, Jimmy. I think your account is set to private. But why don't you come up and let's talk about NIH, FDA, military education, FEMA. We can talk about those things if you would like. Michelle, I just finished giving a whole long update on her. Let me just say, tonight showing a little bit of improvement, but she's been really, really, really sick. What did I misspell? That's what I get for doing too many different things at the same time. What did I do? Where is it? Oh, prices. Yeah, that's what I get for like doing multiple things at the same time. Thank you very much for that. Can Yeah, I literally am like trying to get the kiddos settled while I was going live and doing everything at the same time. So, what's up, Monique Love? Um, so let's chat. So, and let me just say this, like Manny, the person who just came in and said Trump all day. Um, I would love to know because here's what's interesting about people like Manny, even whether Manny's a real person or not, I don't really know. But one of the things that I find really interesting is people will see a background like mine that talks about just simply the issues that are happening right now in the country, and you'll come in and you'll say Trump all day, baby, and nowhere in my background am I mentioning Trump, right? I don't have uh, the president mentioned anywhere in my background. And yet, not only will you guys come in talking about Trump, you'll come in and say Trump derangement syndrome when I'm literally not talking about him, but you are, but you are. Um, and it's just the wildest shit ever. Yeah, Manny, the big guy. Yeah. So let me change my background, you guys. Hold on one sec. It's just funny to me because the only person with Trump derangement syndrome is people like Manny. Um, that's it. Those are the only folks. because it's surely not me. I could care less about the individual other than to be concerned about what's happening actually in my country as a direct result. Yeah, so but I do want to talk about this. When we talk about both parties raise the debt, which is fair, and um, can we also talk about, because here's what I don't like. Here's what I don't like about this conversation where people are talking about, oh, the debt went up under Biden and under Donald Trump. I don't believe that that's a fair thing to say, because one of them inherited a global pandemic, right, and a global disrupted supply chain and a global economy that was in the fucking dumpsters, right? So I just don't think that it's fair to say that that those two things are the same. You know what I mean? I just don't like. Okay, I get it that there are issues with all of it, right? Um, yeah, Mama Dukes, I'm okay. Listen, I think that Major Watson is going to continue to do what he does, and I think they're going to continue to arrest him, and I think it's going to be a thing. I'm not really like, hey, Patricia, like, I'm not really. I don't think it's going to have the impact that they want it to. And I think that there might have been different ways and more effective ways to do that. Um, and so, yeah. Well, Fabio, I don't agree with you. Um, yeah, 100%. So, like, here's my thing. Let me just say this, folks. So I think that, hey, Cam. So here's the thing. I think that there are fair statements to be made about issues with our Congress and with both parties when they are in the White House and the things that are done. I think it's also fair to say that sometimes when we grow debt, it is for the benefit of the people, and sometimes we grow debt when it's definitely not. And right now, I don't see a single thing benefiting U.S. citizens. I don't see a single thing benefiting the people from the $40 trillion of debt that we have today in this country. And what I see is the rich getting much richer. I see this president, his cronies, his children, and their network making money hand over fist. And I see people all around the country that are hurting to keep their head above water, to stay afloat in this economy, and to take care of their families and their children. And so, like I said, I just don't think that it's a fair statement to make. Hey, Senior Biz. Hey, Kathy. Good to see everybody. And so I just want to be able to say that when we talk about debt, I think we have to be fair when we talk about it and examine, like, yes, there's an issue, right? But I think that, oh, thanks, Henny. That one's pretty. I need to be in a hot air balloon, for real, for real. Um, and so, no, Michelle. So that is very much a circle three, and yeah, yes, baby. Yes, 1 plus 4 is 5. That's great, smart girl. The hot air balloon is really beautiful. What's up, Skywriter Jeff? Um, yes, 2 plus 4 equals 6. And so, what's up, DJ? Right? And so, your opinion is that they are doing things to reduce the debt at the detriment of the people. Yep, you're correct. Here's my thing too. Well, that might be true. I don't think that the things that they're doing right now are being done to reduce the debt. I mean, share with me what you think is being done right now by this administration to reduce the debt, because I just don't know that I see anything that's being done. And the things that are being done that could, you heard I'm running for Senate. No, you didn't. No, you did not hear that. I'm not running for anything. um, this is my thing. So the pillow fight is super cute. Um, right. Not a zilch. But here's my thing too. So I think that the things that could reduce the debt that are to the detriment of the people are being offset because all of the money that is being saved is being given to all of those other individuals, right? Um, and so I just think that it's important, like real talk. Yeah, the pillow fight was cute, right? Um, Okay, so let me level set because I'm not usually on in the evenings. So for those of you all who are new to me, let me give you kind of like what how I do things in this space. I only ask for four things when I'm live. I ask you to be respectful. I ask that you not type in all caps. What's up, Ronnie? Hey, Cheryl. I ask that you don't spam my comments. In other words, don't say the same thing over and over again. Appreciate you. And last but not least, do not type in all caps. The reason is very simple. I have individuals in my community that are vision impaired. All caps are reserved for those people and my moderators. So just please be respectful and don't do those things. Okay. And then we can have any kind of conversation you want to have. Here's what I will tell you all. When I first go live, here's what you can almost always expect. In the first 10 to 15 minutes of me being live, you're going to see bots and trolls and people who are just, for whatever, however you want to say it, whether you want to say this is an account that they are meant to interact with or whatever, you're going to see the agitators come in the first 15, 20 minutes of me being live. After I'm live for about 30 minutes, when you all don't feed the trolls, when you all don't respond to them, when you just let them be, right? When you don't engage with them, then they depart. And then we get to have really engaging, really meaningful conversations with important information. Okay. So just don't engage with them. If I want to address them, I will. And if I don't, then no one will. And we'll just keep moving. Um, Both can be true. But so I think if the, oh, thanks, Skywriter Jeff. I think if, but true, too, here's my thing. I think if the intent were to help the people, right, then the other parts wouldn't be true. I don't think that you can say that you are doing things to reduce the debt and help people, right? If you're also doing a grift, if you're also reducing the value of the dollar, if you're also setting up your friends with shit tons of money, right? So, while I can't say intent, what I can say is that the impact is definitely nothing beneficial for working class people. That's what I would say about this administration. Hey, Receive Greg, appreciate you. Toop said, I'm coming over to TikTok. Okay, I see you, friend. No worries. Right, if you're turning your crypto company into a bank. Listen, I think that there's a problem, you all. We have health insurance. Oh, that's cute, Brandon. We have health insurance companies, we have hospitals, healthcare organizations that not only do they own hospitals and healthcare organizations, some of them, thank you for the sloth, also some of them own insurance companies. Did you all know that there are healthcare systems that own insurance companies? In addition to owning insurance companies, they own pharmacies. In addition to pharmacies, they own credit unions and banks. Why are healthcare organizations? Why are insurance companies? But I'm not even talking about like big, like CVS. I'm not even talking about CVS, y'all. Listen, the medical monopoly that we have back home, listen to me, you all. The medical monopoly that we have back home owns banks, they own credit unions. I want you all to stop thinking national. I bet you money if all of you all looked into your local hospitals and healthcare systems, I would bet you money you should stop and look and see what they have. So listen, so one of them, so let me just explain to you what happened. So yeah, but I've known about this for years too because of Ballot Health. So listen, so let me tell you about Ballot Health back home where I'm from. That they are the region's largest employer. Okay. They are the region's largest employer. So they employ, the majority of the people. On top of that, like I said, they own a credit union, and all the banks, the hospitals, the majority of the hospitals, the vast majority of the hospitals, they own some pharmacies, they own the majority of the urgent cares, all of those things, right? But get this. So do you know some of the car dealerships were hurting because Ballard was giving their employees special rates. If they financed their cars through the credit union, then they got a special rate, right? And so it was hurting the car dealership. in their ability to finance through anybody else. And that matters when you're the largest employer in town. Yes, they own a real estate company as well. Mountain States Properties. Yes, they own a real estate company, which by the way, the real estate company is for profit, and the real estate company owns the real estate where the hospitals are, but the hospitals are nonprofit. So I've never quite figured that out. I've never quite figured out how you're a for-profit real estate company. You own the real estate that's at that location, but the not-for-profit hospital is at that location. And so the for-profit business and the nonprofit business share the same address, exact same address, 400 North State of Franklin, right? It's just absolutely wild when you see these types of things, right? It's just something that, thanks in the middle. Y'all must have missed me. Appreciate all the gifting. But I just really think that people, hey, Belly, you got 17 minutes, babe. I just think that it's really important that we start to look at the country that we are in and ask ourselves, is this really truly who we desire? Like, is this what we desire to create? Oh, Dani, I know nonprofits are for profit, 100%. I'm very, very, very aware. Appreciate you, Brandy. Yeah. And so, and I have explained to people that not for profit doesn't mean that you don't make a profit. As a matter of fact, you can make a shit ton of profit. It's just a little bit different, right? Yes, Goodwill. There's a bunch of them, right? Oh, thanks, Toop. I appreciate it. And so these are the things that I have listed up here. And of course, I do want to talk about the primaries. I do want to talk about, so I shared this with you all the other day, how I feel about this mixed bag that we're getting, where in some primary races, the establishment or the Democratic Party's chosen preferred candidate is winning. And then in other times, there's the more progressive or the DSA candidate is winning, right? And here's my thing. I'm actually happy with this outcome. And I'm going to share with you why. So I believe that change that happens really, really fast and that's really extreme is almost always guaranteed to be temporary. I think that I think that it slows the rhetoric. It slows the rhetoric from the Republican Party about there's a DSA takeover of the Democrats when Dems win, when traditional Dems win some of their seats and their primaries, right? I think it's also progress and a step forward when more progressives and more, yeah, exactly, Jeff. A mix isn't horrible. It increases a broader acceptance rate in moderates. Exactly. And so that's kind of what I'm saying. So and the other thing too, is that it is demonstrating that the process does work. It is demonstrating that if people would simply get on the ballot and challenge the establishment Dems that are already in office, if people would get on the ballot and people would turn out and vote, you can absolutely change the makeup of your state legislature, your Congress, your local city council, your school boards, all of that. And I think it's really important that people know that. Hey, Rosalind, good to see you. And so that's the part of this that I really am excited about seeing. I'm excited about seeing the fact that it's a little bit of a mixed bag when we look at the election results. But one of the things that I've noticed continuously is that no matter what, Israel keeps losing. And when I say Israel, I mean AIPAC, right? It's funny to me when I see AIPAC spending 3-1, 10-1, and still coming up short. Yes, Brandy, definitely need that in Tennessee District 1 a lot. Yes. Which, by the way, I'm working on something. I'm going to try to get Brad, Bat, and Christy, and then there's one other individual that I'm going to try to get them on a panel, all three of them at the same time, rather than doing 3 separate ones. I think it would be good to have 3 different representatives from the East Tennessee region all in at the same time, right? People make Izzy, yes, make Izzy broke again. I'm all about that, Jeff. I'm here for that all day. But I am enjoying seeing APAC be outperformed even when they are overspending tremendously. And so I think that that's really, I think it's great. So like, I think that we are moving in the right direction. Um, of course, I would love to see us move in the right direction faster, right? But at the same time, midterms are in 76 days, and we have a lot of work to do. And I want to be clear that the work is not just for right now. The work is for from now until forever. Why in my head I heard some Disney damn song? What's the song? Now until forever. What's the song? What do I feel like? What do I feel like? Frozen or something just came in my brain all of a sudden. Anyway, that's what he means. Y'all know how my brain does. It does music like that. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Um, I would really love to hear, yeah, money shouldn't matter if Dems were not so damn fickle voters. So Michael T, here's what I would say about here's what I would say about Dems being fickle voters, right? Oh, thanks, Sandy. So listen, guys, right up here, there's a gift box up here. When that timer runs down, if you like what I do in this space and you want to be a super fan, somebody has gifted you a super fan subscription up there. So you have to just be the first person to claim it when the clock hits zero. Okay. Um, yes, in the middle. I do want to talk about that because I'm incredibly excited to see ABC fight back against this administration. And it took them fucking long enough, right? In my mind, every single one of these media companies and outlets should have been fighting back from the start. They should have never capitulated and pulled the shit that they did with Jimmy Kimmel or with Stephen Colbert or anyone else, right? It took far too long. However, better late than never, I guess, at the very same time, right? Far too long and better late than never. I just think that, yeah. Hey, Margaret, good to see you. And money doesn't mean everything. Hey, friend, how are you? So, I really do want people to kind of hone in on the wins. And this is something that I want to say to everybody that considers yourself to be progressive, liberal, a Democrat, far left, leftist, left leaning, whatever the hell. Like there's so many different. I literally have heard people on this app. Yay, Desi! Thanks for becoming a super fan. Appreciate you, Sandy, for gifting. So I literally have seen people on this app go, "I'm not progressive. I'm left." Or some people have said, "I'm not a liberal. I'm far left." And why I don't. So this is my thing. This is why I hate labels. Can we just decide without having to stick a label on the front of your forehead? Can we just say I am for policies that are good for working class people? I am for policies that treat people like human beings, right, with dignity, and I am for what's best for all of us, not just some of us, but all of us, right? Knowing that we would rather include everyone than exclude anyone. And that's the way that I would look at it. I would rather include everyone than to exclude anyone. That way no one falls through the cracks. I am tired of seeing people fall through the cracks because of systems and how they work. I'm going to give you guys a prime example. So, a while back, a long time ago, I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. And when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, I used to do this thing called free hugs. And that grew into something called free hugs and love. And then it was free hugs and suds. And what it was is, so when it first began, we used to go up to Uptown Charlotte, which is downtown. And we would go up and we would just have on t-shirts or signs that just offered hugs to people. And after we did that for months and months and months and months, we saw the same individuals who were homeless up there all the time because that's where all the services are located. That is where they would be. So then that just became I knew them and they knew me, and so sometimes I would take them down to the epicenter and get them a slice of pizza at Libretto's. Sometimes I would take I would take them up to the hotel up there up Sugar Creek Way, and because across the street's a McDonald's, so I could relatively not very expensively get a hotel room for the night and give them money, and they could get something across the street to eat. Things like that. And so after, I just became known as the free hugs lady. And then we evolved into Sundays. What we would do is when they would go to King's Kitchen on Sundays, King's Kitchen will feed them, but only after they sit through the sermon. So we would go up with these huge trash bags and these tickets, like a roll of tickets where you get one side and the other person keeps the other side. So we would give them their ticket and we would staple it to their bag, and we would take their laundry. And while they were at King's Kitchen, we would go wash their laundry down the street at the coin at the laundromat, and then we'd bring it back. And as we just did that stuff, did that work, it was just me and whoever wanted to join me, just volunteers. I'll never forget meeting this woman. She was up there and she was asking for money because she and her kids, who were school age kids, had been staying in a hotel. And I asked her about some of the shelters that were up there, and she said, "Well, the regular women's shelter is full, right? And I can't take children to the women's shelter, to this one particular shelter." And then she said, "Get this, follow me." She said that there's beds at the domestic violence shelter, but I'm not fleeing domestic violence, so I can't have a bed. And this is the part that gets me. And these are nonprofits, right? So they have like guidelines for who and what their money is going to be used for. And there was something so wrong about this to me, that because number one, she refused to lie and say, yes, I'm a victim of domestic violence, when she wasn't. So she and her children were not going to get a bed, right? They weren't going to get a bed because she didn't meet whatever specific criteria that this particular shelter had, that this particular shelter had, that this particular, and it's just wild to me that we are a country that does that. Like, I don't understand. Appreciate you guys helping hit the goal, but I don't understand. Why is this something that we do? I don't understand this about us. I saw an ad today talking about Finland, and like their kids don't start school until 7. They don't take exams until they're 15. They don't do something else until 18. Like, it's just very, very different. And yet they are number one in education. And it's like, why does the United States of America not get it yet? That our extreme vulture capitalist lens through which we view life, and through which we govern, and through which we set up policy and infrastructure and institutions, is not conducive for a happy, well-rounded, highly educated, high-performing society. We're not. We're not. And I would think that we would want to be. I would think that that's what we want to be. Do we not desire to be well-rounded, happy, high-performing individuals, highly educated individuals? Greed and pride ahead of necessity. I would agree, Titus, and that's okay. Use belly, Bella. Let Mila plug up, baby, because she gave it to you when you first got home. Thank you. You got 4 minutes, Bella, by the way. Right, Brandy, you would think because we're simultaneously brainwashed, that we are stronger, independent, and helpless weakness. I would agree with that, Jeff. I also think that we are simultaneously consuming a shit ton of propaganda that says we're the greatest country in the world, when in reality is we're not. We're not the greatest country in the world. There are many other countries that have freedom of speech, that have democracy, that have everything that we have, and they have universal health care, and they have free universities, and they have free education, and they have all of those things. People act like we don't have those things. And are there countries that don't? Yes, of course. And there are plenty of countries that do. Right? There are plenty of countries that do. That's funny too. And so I think that it's just really important for people to get clear about those things and to determine, like, yes, they have better pregnancy outcomes, they have better childcare, they have better maternity leave, they have paternity leave, they have all of those different things. Yes, yeah, and those are facts. And one of the things that's frustrating when we start to talk about these things is when we start to do comparison. We're talking, and listen, we might be talking fruit, but we'll be talking about one particular type of fruit, and then all of a sudden there's this comparison to something else, as if we can't address more than one thing at one time, and without deflecting to point at a different issue, right? Based on ours, right? Oh yeah, I saw that already. I saw that there were schools that used AI and they had misspelled a state, and it stayed up there for a week with misspelled states. I saw that. So let me just say this, folks. There are a lot of things that I don't talk about that are all over the media. Okay. Hey, Lonnie, how are you? So, yeah, periodic tables too. Yes. So let me just, the reason why I'm not talking about those things right now is because we have 76 days until the midterms. Thanks, Brandy. And I really want to talk about the things that are going to impact us as we move forward and what we need to do with our Department of Education. I think first, before I can think about fixing the Department of Education and getting AI out of the Department of Education and getting Linda McMahon out of the fucking administration, right? First of all, I need to have progressives in control of Congress. Yeah, Shannon, I do. I stress priority. I do. I do. And then, because I get on here and there's a lot of things that I could talk about. So I'll just share with you all the process. I literally get up here and I'll look at several different outlets and several different headlines, and some of them I'm interested in, some of them I'm like, oh shit. And then some of them I'll go, okay, so we need to talk about this, right? People need to at least be aware of this. Or this is like worth notating. And so I'll share with you some of them that are on the list that made my thing for tonight, right? So one of them is, of course, the damn debt. Hey, Dani, give me just a second. One of them is $40 trillion for the debt. That's one. Angie Nixon's win in Florida, along with some of the other wins in Alaska and Wyoming, and discussing what that looks like, and what it could mean for us in terms of how we move things forward. So that made the cut. This made the cut because it's incredibly important. The Israeli military admitted today that its troops did open fire on the car with Hen Rajab in it. And so that's huge. And so we are going to talk about that. I'm not going to play the 3-hour phone call. I'm not going to play her clip and her voice, because I don't think that anybody needs the added trauma or the added angst, right, that goes along with it. But I think that it's important for us to do, right? I think it's important for everybody to know that in that, though, they didn't just unalive her, right, and the other people in the car. There were also 15 Palestinian medics and humanitarian personnel that were also killed in that deal. Another thing that made my list, because this again is important and it's relevant as the midterms approach. Heidi Overton has been nominated by the president to be the head of the FDA. She is a strong abortion opponent. She strongly opposes abortion. And I think that that's really important, and people should be paying attention. I'm going to say that again. People should be paying attention to the fact that that's who he nominated, right? So, Margaret, let me just say this. I say this to everybody, but I just want to give a reminder. So one of the things that I don't talk about are things like that. For those of you guys over here, Margaret said, that's why Trump says he loves the uneducated. They profit from the uneducated. Listen, he is profiting from the educated and the uneducated. The educated have made billions of dollars off of him, right? The educated have made a shit ton of money off of him, right? So they profit from the educated and uneducated alike. And so I think that if progressives want to turn this country around, and make space and create space for people who have voted for him in the past, we have to stop punching down. We have to stop telling them how dumb they are or how uneducated they are, because it's not helpful. It doesn't create space for anyone to choose something different. Right? And so I just offer that to people as a thought about how we want to have conversations and how we want to speak to and about people. Right? No one wants to be reminded that the person that you believed in talks shit about you or talks badly about you after you put all your faith in them. Right? And we have all experienced this at some point in our lives, whether it's with somebody that we thought was our friend, somebody that we dated, that we were married to, that we were whatever the relationship may be. Right? Nobody wants that reminder that they've been duped. And not only that, they've been duped, but they've been mocked for being duped. They just don't need the reminder. And I'm not saying cozy up to them, and I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying, right? We don't need to add on to it, not if we want to change things. All right. So listen, folks, I am going to bring some folks up to the panel. When I bring you up, please do me a favor, put yourself on mute till I get to you. Hey, Belly. It's bedtime, love bug. It's time. You actually got 4 extra minutes, girl. Thank you, baby. Put your phone on mute until I get to you, and then we'll kind of get into the conversation, okay? Teal, I hit accept, but it didn't bring you up. Dani, it's giving you a hard time connecting. You might have to say something in order to load all the way in. Multi-guest is having issues. I've seen other creators talking about this being an issue for them. Teal, you might have to request back up if the box isn't loading you up. It could be an issue. Dani, why don't you drop down and request back up? And let's try it again. Let's see if the second request. Yeah, it's a TikTok problem. It's happening across the board. Yeah, so I'm in a TikTok Discord that they invited me to. And in this Discord, there were other creators talking about having an issue with the boxes. So I figured that might be an issue. I'm going to try it a different way. Dani, I sent you an invite that way. We'll see if it loads you in any better. Margaret, does that make sense? Is what I said just now making sense to you? Appreciate you, Brandy. Yeah, because they're trying to fix something, and they're trying to fix it, and I don't know if they're making it worse or what. But let's keep going. Okay, so hold on one second. I do want to talk about. So I follow a couple of accounts, and one of them is from. So one is for the Speaker of the Parliament in Iran. Oh no, hold on, not him. Sorry. Where did it go? There you go. That's what I want. Okay, that's what I want. Is that? Uh, yeah, no, Ethan, you're a child. Okay. Hey, Wasim. Okay, so yeah, so I follow Mohammed Bagher Galibaf. I don't know how you say his last name, but he's the Speaker of the Parliament for Iran, and and so I follow his one of his accounts because I like to see what he says, and so I'm gonna give you something that he said earlier today. Um, and it says, "Hey, Danny, give me a second, okay?" It says, Mahdi and the dear Hajj Qasim, here is the fruit of your jihad and your blessed blood. In the new regional order, foreign powers' interference in the equations between states is receding at an accelerating pace. America is seeking an honorable exit for itself from the region, and the project from the river to the sea for the Zionist entity has become mere fragments of dreams. And so it's a group of Iranian officials all together in front of a statue. I don't know enough about the history of Iran or whatever to know like who the two figures are in the statue. The part that I wanted to speak about for us is this. Let me share it with you guys so you can see it over here. Um, the part that I wanted you all to notice is things that he said. He says there's a new regional order, and he says the foreign powers interference, so the interference of different foreign powers in the equations between the states is receding at an accelerating rate, at an accelerating pace. And then he says America is seeking an honorable exit for itself from the region, which I think is important to note. And then the project from the river to the sea for the Zionist entity has become mere fragments of a dream. Something is happening in the Middle East that US news outlets are not talking about. There's a reason they are talking. So what I need to do is actually look to see like who are all the faces. Like he's in the middle, and then there are other what appear to be other Arab leaders all around him, and it's a big press conference that took place. Um, so I think that we should be paying attention when they're saying things like this, and they're putting them out, and they're having press conferences, and they are talking about them and the impact that it could very well have on us. What happens? So have y'all? No. So so the person that I'm quoting, that is the Speaker for the Parliament of Iran. That's who that is. Um, Let me see. Uh, Give me a second. Let me see if I can see. Oh, that's okay. No worries. You're going to need another drink for this conversations. So here's the thing, right? And the New York Times just put out an article. I don't subscribe, so I can't read it. But it says what to know about Iran's economic ties with Gulf countries. So the UAE has cut off all economic ties with Iran, right? Um, and Iran said, we did not. Yeah, I knew that part, Jeff. So the UAE is claiming that Iran fired two ballistic missiles into its waters and attacked state owned ships. And Iran said, no, we didn't. Iran called it a false flag operation. Um, but this is a big deal because it's a big trade halt that will economically impact Iran 100%, right? And in bad ways. But there's something else that has happened. And this is what I'm trying to find. And this is why I need to have up my link for the. Um, yeah, here we go. Hold on, let me see if this is what I'm looking for. Oh no, they don't. Usually, if Iran does something, they are quick to tell you they did it. Um, oh, I don't see it. So, Jeff, do you know? Do you know what he's talking about? Because I don't know who he was talking about with these particular individuals. Danny, if you want to go ahead and chime in while I try to look for this.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay. I don't know if you're aware, I might have tried to tell you before, but now where I was legally blind, I'm almost totally blind, and I can't write in your prompts. And the only thing I can do is see symbols like the praying hands and the hands up. And that's to let you know that if there's space for me, I'd like to say something to you. And so, uh, a couple of things I would like to say. I love your lives. Danny, you are the most informative current events live person on TikTok, bar none. Your information is always very credible and legitimate. Now, as it relates to this current state of affairs that we are in as a country, I have, and I don't mean to sound like somebody is just anti-American. I'm not. However, based on the what I call the fact pattern, you heard me. I think you've heard me talk about the fact pattern of history from then till now. As a paralegal, when a lawyer presents a case, he has to present a fact pattern to the jury to prove or disprove something. Well, this country has been the most non-trustworthy country. We do psyops against our own people, propaganda. The media is the strongest proponent of wrongdoing and corruption as it relates to, like, there was a time that they had this birth of a nation to say that black people were evil and the Klan was doing, the Triple Ks was doing their patriotic duty. Although they were domestic terrorists, there was an outcry and a belief system, belief in those people. And so when this country demonizes somebody, you got to put that in perspective. We talk about the civil rights legends of our times, but during the time that they were living, the narrative about them that was that they were the enemy of the state.
Yeah.
And public enemy number one. And so you have to have an honest, patriotic, objective look at who is the enemy of state in this particular country and in this instance. And see, a lot of these, the ones that supported this orange guy in the White House don't see him as the enemy of the state. But if you really look at his patterns, fact patterns, and if you look at how he's run this country in the ground, he is the enemy of, when I looked at the Helsinki summit, when incredible intel said that Russia aided in the 2016 election to favor Trump. Trump said, I asked Vladimir, did he have anything to do with it? And he said no. And so I can't believe him because he said no. Forget the credible intel that he had on that. He just diminished all of the credible intel from the intelligence community, and he just went with because it suited him. And so when you look at how he's handled Venezuela, when you look at how he's handled the accused speedboat narcotics guys that he said were dealing narcotics and had the Navy just blow them up, unalive them summarily without due process. He functions, he circumvents no, he don't circumvent a damn thing. He blatantly goes against established rule of law. And we have citizens that actually stand with this corruption. And so if he's corrupt enough to take life without due process, what makes me think he's credible in Iran? What makes me think that he's credible with anything that he does? He doesn't do it for the American people. He do it to line his own grifting ass pockets and the pockets of his billionaire donors. And we're here fighting with each other, USA, USA. And it's bullshit. And so that's why I appreciate you so much, Danny, because you bring facts, receipts, and intelligence to a discussion, and you make stupid people really look stupid.
I don't make them look stupid.
Well, you help them make themselves look stupid.
I just don't. I look informed, and however me being informed makes them look is not up to me. So, can one of my mods help? One of my mods that covers Discord. I don't know if somebody can help Tori or not. I'm not sure. Right, Jeff. That's all I do is hold a mirror. That's it. I just hold up a mirror and say, "Well, these are the actual facts." And I actually did find what I was looking for. I'm excited. I'm excited. So the gentleman that I follow is Iran's top negotiator. And so the picture that I showed you guys, the picture that I have up is from a press conference that they held, and so I'll show it in a minute. Danny, what's up, B action? So yeah, so Danny, here's my thing. When people say to me, I'm having a bit of a time with people today because yeah. So yeah, I'll tell you, he made a trip to Iran today, and I'm going to play a 30-second clip that I found from their press conference that they held. But so here's my thing. I think that we are reaching. I think that the old scripture, pride goes before the fall.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how far the United States of America is going to have to fall before we stop coming from a place of pride.
Well, you said a very interesting point, and I'm going to say this and I'll drop 2 points. When you mentioned the book, there has been such a contamination of the book against human beings in this particular country and demonizing other human beings in other countries based upon a contamination of the book. And then if you look at something, I'm going to say this, from an ideological standpoint, the greatest enemy, and hear me well, I don't care where you look at in the history of this country, the greatest enemy of the state against human beings in this country has been the conservative. The greatest movement forward that we've ever had in this country were by progressives. When the Republican Party was formed, it was a progressive abolitionist party. Mm-hmm. When the progressives won the civil battle, it's called the civil battle, the progressives won. The progressives got the 14th Amendment, and the progressive also voted the Civil Rights and the Voting Rights Act of 64 and 65 before they flipped the progressives with Kevin Phillips and the Southern Strategy, and they became conservatives to allow the Dixiecrats to come home to a party because black people were becoming Democrats, and so the Democrats wasn't seen no more as conservatives because blacks became Democrats, so they became liberals. But if you look at the progressive movements, it brought women's suffrage, rights to all citizens, and progressive movement brought Social Security. The progressive movement is the greatest thing that will save the United States. It's America first only with the progressives, not with the conservatives. They are corrupt and they only believe in big business, and screw you if you're not big business. Thank you for letting me come up, Danny.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ooh, you're welcome.
I got that off my chest. I damn near felt like I was in therapy. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome. I hope you do well, and always wishing you the best with your vision, your eyesight, and things.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one. Hey, Shirley, how are you? And so let me just say this about she's still pretty sick, Butter's house. I gave her a really big update at the beginning. I'll update again in the Discord after we get off this live. But yeah, I'm still waiting a little bit to see whether or not she's going to end up making a trip to the ER for just hydration purposes, if nothing else. Yeah, baby. I know. It's okay. I know. I'll let him know, okay? We got to get you better first. So here's my thing. Do you know? So I don't like. No, actually, the pediatrician recommended Propel even more than Pedialyte. Yes, baby. Okay, I'll let her know. Okay. Um. Okay. Give me a second, y'all. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. So because Pedialyte doesn't really taste great, um, yes, she just finished another popsicle. Literally, you guys. Yes. She's done Italian ice. She's done popsicles, Propel, all the things. Literally though, just everything that we put in her, she's had diarrhea and vomiting since Sunday. So it's not for a lack of fluids going in. It's just not keeping anything in. So today's been the best day that she's had so far, but it's just a matter of getting some more in. Okay, so about this part. So one of the things that she can't have anything fruity, Jeff. That's the thing. If it's sugary, then that's a problem. But so let me just come back. So Panopticon, yeah, I've had some Trump supporters and some self-identified MAGA individuals who have come up and had conversations with me at different times over the last 2 years, and some of those conversations have been really productive and gone really great, and then some of those conversations have just been whatever they've been. You know what I mean? But for the people who are really interested in having a for real conversation, Kenneth, you know the answer. No. But for the people that are really interested in having a real good faith conversation that's rooted in fact, yes, we have great. We've had really good dialogue about these things. So, and there've been quite a few times where we've had success, literally while I was live, and those people have kind of switched their perspectives in the middle of the conversation, and so it's always great when I get to see that happen. I don't always get to see it happen, but sometimes I do, and when I do, it's really fantastic to see. Right? I think for me, so can you all know I'm not a fan of Mike Johnson. I think his seven mountain mandate that he believes in. I think his appeal to heaven flag flying outside of his office is concerning, and everyone should know what those things mean and why they should be a problem for everyone. Having said that, when he became Speaker of the House, I did not listen to his speech. How many of you all did not listen to Mike Johnson's speech when he became Speaker of the House? If you didn't, put a one in the chat. Okay. I want to show you something. I saw this today on a reel, on a clip, and it really bothered me. It bothered me a whole lot. Because as a US citizen, one of the things that I am tired of seeing is members of my Congress talk about their first order of business and the first thing that they want to do be for another fucking country. I am really tired of that. I don't want to see another person in Congress tell me that you went to Congress to be the most pro-Israel senator. I don't want another member of Congress to say Israel comes to me in my dreams. I am tired of it. And I'm going to show you all this clip. You guys, I'm going to have to play it for you because TikTok will ding me if I show it to you. But I am gonna play it so that you can hear it. This is actually from October of 2023, when Mike Johnson became Speaker of the House. And as soon as I get this little ad right here, oh my gosh. Oh, my sweet baby Jesus. I don't want to hear anything except for him, please. Thank you. Listen, I don't want to hear anything else but him. Jeez, Pete. Give me one sec. Okay. All right. So let me share this with you guys. And if I need to get a different clip, I will get a different clip. But this should be it. I don't like to hear all the fucking commentators first. You know what I mean? I just don't. Okay, so let me play this for you guys. So this is Mike Johnson during his Speaker of the House speech. You ready? Here we go.
And I'm going to bring to this floor.
Hold on. I'm almost there. Okay, now listen.
The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor in just a little while will be in support of our dear friend Israel, and we're overdue in getting that done. We're going to show not only Israel, but the entire world, that the barbarism of Hamas that we have all seen play out on our television screens is wretched and wrong, and we're going to stand for the good in that conflict.
The resolution passed with overwhelming bipartisan support.
He literally said the first thing he's going to do, the first bill that he was going to bring to Congress, was funding and support for Israel. And let me just go ahead and say, we've talked about this a lot in this space, that it got bipartisan support, Dems and Republicans alike, right? So we're overdue in getting aid to Israel, but we're not overdue. Exactly, Shannon. We're not overdue in getting health care to our children. We're not overdue with taking care of our elderly. We're not overdue with, with anything else, right? It doesn't, and this is what I don't get about people who say that they are Republicans, or people who support this administration, people who say that they are America first and support this administration and support this Republican Party. What I don't understand is how you continue to support members of your Congress, members of your party that are clearly putting another country's interest over the interest of ours. I don't understand that. And the only part of it that even my rational intellectual brain can fathom is that it's your faith. Whether you are a Christian Zionist or whether you are a Jewish Zionist, at your core, whatever you are, you're a Zionist. That's the only way that you can support this administration and the things that it's doing concerning Israel. And that is on, and listen, same thing for many members of the Democratic Party. But the thing is that this sentiment is shifting. And it is shifting dramatically amongst the people, right? Because the people believe in freeing Palestine. That's what the people believe, in, a free Palestine. I don't know if you all saw a newly posted video from Ben-Gvir. He is one of the top folks on the right in Israel. He is literally bragging about this new square that they want to put up, where they want to publicly execute Palestinians, and there will be viewing chambers. And he literally says, like in America. Yes, Amy, he is evil. So let me see if I can find the video. And he says it, of course, hold on, in Hebrew, but what's it? What give me a second. Yep. So, Israeli National Security Minister Ben Gvir released a video showcasing the active construction of a dedicated death row prison wing and hanging facility featuring observation booths to witness the executions of prisoners. And this is so you know that Israel just passed a law specifically saying that they could unalive Palestinians, right? And in this video, he says, quote, the gallows will be erected here. And they're going to do, death by hanging with viewing chambers. Yep. And he stated that these are for the victims of the crimes, Israeli families, so they can watch. Yes, I'm not kidding. So let me see if I can show for you. So human rights organizations, including B'Tselem, which is the Israeli human rights organization, has criticized it, saying that it establishes an official killing mechanism inside a prison system they argue is already rife with abuse. But okay, so let me get the video for you guys because you know that's what I prefer to do. So you can hear him in his own words. Yeah, everybody's talking about this. So, and then I've got to play another one for you guys. I've got two videos. Yeah, I probably did mark back. I know that I mentioned the death penalty law because it passed several months ago, back in March. But the gallows is something that I haven't talked about. But literally just in the last couple of days, he gave an interview where he called for nightly killings in Gaza. He says that they should take out 30 to 40 Gazans every single night. He was on a podcast where he was interviewed saying this. You're not going to be able to understand what he's saying because he's talking in Hebrew on this one video where he's in front of the gallows. Let me see if this one they do it in English, like with a translator. Let me just see real quick. Yes. No, but it's in the hey Dax. It's in the I'm gonna read the translation. Hey Veronica, I'm gonna read the translation for you as he's talking. And this was literally just a couple of days ago on a podcast interview that he did. Okay. Here we go.
זה לא סוד, אני חלקתי על ראש הממשלה, אני חושב שצריך...
Wait a minute. God, that went really fast. It's no secret that I have disagreed with the prime minister.
אני חושב שצריך לעשות סיכולים ממוקדים בעזה, כל לילה להוריד 30-40.
30 to 40 people should be taken out every night.
לא רק אלה שמסכנים אותך...
who pose an immediate threat to you.
לאותו רגע. אין, יש שם אנשים ש...
are people there who should not be alive.
הם לא בני חיים, הם לא צריכים...
They shouldn't be living. I'm quoting.
לחיות, הם לא אנשים גם...
They're not people either.
אני נותן להם מחמאה ש...
And even calling them people gives them too much credit.
אני קורא להם אנשים, אני בדמיוני...
My imagination, I see all of Gaza as our...
רואה את כל עזה שלנו.
אמן.
settlements, not just in Gush Katif.
יישובים, לא רק בגוש קטיף, בכל...
but throughout Gaza.
עזה, לעודד הגירה כמה...
should encourage immigration.
שיותר, לשלוח אותם לארצותיהם.
and send them back to their countries.
ואת המחבלים, שום הגירה ושום...
As for the terrorists, no immigration and...
כלום, אותם להרוג אחד.
kill them one by one, every single one.
The people...
That is Israeli national security individual Ben Gvir. Yeah, so listen, I need for you all to understand. They don't even, so like him and Daniela Weiss, they don't even believe that you should call Palestinians people. They don't even believe that you should refer to them as people. it is horrendous. And this is why, if you look on my post where I say complicit in war crimes, that is us, people. Just so that we understand, the United States of America is complicit in war crimes. And them passing this death penalty law that only applies for Palestinians, they don't have to get a trial, they don't have to have due process, they don't have to have any of that, right? And then they are building this part of the prison with gallows to hold these things and have viewing chambers, right? It's horrendous. And I think it's really important that, we're honest about these things. Itarusu, I don't know who this is. Okay, so folks, listen, if I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you. Okay? Put yourself on mute until I get to you. And I'm going to risk something bringing up this account, but we're going to see. Because I understand that there are some people that have accounts on TikTok that don't really identify who they are or whatever. We'll just see what this is. Okay? And then we'll go from there. Oh, the other account is gone. Okay. LJ, did you mean to request up?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay, no worries. I got you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was really quick. Are we getting anything from other countries on this? So the people are protesting in other countries, but what we've seen is that, thank you, Sandy, for taking care of that fake account. What we've also seen is that there are other governments that have been arresting their protesters for protesting Israel or for supporting Palestinian organizations and things like that, right? We saw that, and we've seen it in the UK. I believe Greta posted something about it happening in Denmark as well. And so there's something to be said and questions to be asked about why it seems like much of the Western world is right. AIPAC is not their only lobby group. I agree. Yeah, they are not. I also think that right. So who just said that? Who just said humanity is under a spotlight? It is. And this is the point that I really want to drive home is oh my gosh, who did I see today that was talking about this? So y'all know me sometimes. I'm a big, I don't know, I like to think about things in words and offer different perspectives. And so so this was the point that was being made, and I can't remember who made it now, but just listen. They said you kill a cockroach and you're applauded. You kill a butterfly and you're not, or a caterpillar and you're not. And it's the taking of a life is subject to aesthetics, what looks okay to do and what doesn't look okay to do. And it doesn't matter if the caterpillar is eating up your garden or what the cockroach is or isn't doing, right? And I thought about that today, and I thought about how much of what we do, right, rat versus squirrel, exactly, same thing. It's what we deem worthy and what we don't, and the dehumanization that I see at play, both abroad and at home. So if you don't recognize right now that there are people on the oh yeah, I've already seen that. It's horrendous, Jeff. It's horrendous. But if you don't understand like where we are and what we've deemed to be okay versus not okay, and what's happening right here at home. So the dehumanization of Muslims and Arabs in the United States of America is astounding. And it's repulsive. If you are someone that is on the internet, or you are in your home, or you are around your friends and family, and you are talking about Muslims and Arabs as anything less than human beings, or lumping them all together as part of some sort of diabolical whatever, first and foremost, you're a bigot. And the reason I can say that is because you meet the definition. And if you knew anyone that was a Muslim or was Arab, you would know better than to go around saying those things and grouping them all together. And by the way, what if we applied that same thought process to absolutely every other group where a small segment of that group has done something horrendous in that group's name? Because should I say that Christianity breeds PDF files? And should I say that and use Jim Jones, David Koresh, and Jeff Warren and Sam Bateman as my examples? And I'm going to say, because of these extreme examples that where it happened, and then I say, to back that up, I'm also going to talk about all of your Catholic priests and all of your members of the Southern Baptist Convention that have also committed the same thing against children. So if I were to say that Christianity breeds PDFs, for those of you guys who are not on TikTok, that's pedos, okay? How would you feel about that statement? Where are my Christians at in here? If I were to say that about your religion, how would you feel about it? Or what if I said that at its peak, more than 40,000 people that were in the KKK were also pastors and judges and in the church? What if I said that Christianity breeds racism and racists? Yeah, you all would agree, but they would call y'all woke. You would agree, but they would call y'all woke. But I'm just like, these are the things that I'm asking. Right, Terry, I would be right if we clump everybody together. Now, would it be more accurate if I said that in certain conditions and certain circumstances, there are people who can misuse the religion of Christianity to commit horrific acts against children and against women and cover it up? Right? Which one would be more accurate? Right? So I can acknowledge that there have been horrific things that have happened, right? But the second statement is going to be more accurate than the first. And so this is the one thing. So what I don't understand about Christians, specifically white Christians, right, is why that same logic that you want applied to you, you don't want applied to everyone else. You don't apply it to everyone else. So if I grouped all white people together, and if I said all white people are racist, there would be a problem. If I said all white people are racist, it's embedded, it's in your DNA, it's in your damn DNA. And I said that the reason for that is because white people have committed genocide and horrific acts all over the world in an effort for white superiority and colonization. I know there are Black creators that say that. I know that there are Black creators that say that. My question is, how do we feel about that as a statement? And is that something that, I don't know, is accurate? Yep, me too, Jeff. And so for me, there's a place where I'm willing to go and a place where I'm not willing to go. I believe that I believe that there is a certain amount, the same way that we carry, hey, Valerie, we carry trauma in our DNA. I think that there are other things genetically that we pass down in our DNA, right? And I also think that the mere existence of something in your genes doesn't mean that it develops into something that you display outside. And I think that there, in a lot of ways, your environment and how you are nurtured play a lot, have a lot to do with that, right? You would say facts doesn't care about your feelings. Okay, so and what facts would you back that up with, all caps? Just asking, folks. We've been laid bare and exposed as painful and still want truth. I think that I do wonder what is it that has gotten us to this place and why there seems to be this desire to colonize and to take over and to oppress. I do wonder why that seems to exist more so in a particular group of people than in other. I do wonder. I do. Because I don't have the answer to it, right? Yeah, I know, all caps. I agree. So all caps said that historically everywhere Europeans have landed, they have brought theft, death, and destruction. Agreed. I agree with you. And again, so this is what I'm saying is, but does that mean it's all of them? But does that mean it's all of them? Because here's my thing, right? At the same time, there have been people that haven't. So is it only a particular subgroup of that? Is it only a particular group? Right? And so those are some of the things that in my mind I go, are certain, because here's what I think. No, but like it's all men till it's no man. I know, Cindy. I've had that same thought. No, it's not all of them, and it's all until it's none. But here's my thing. I wonder sometimes, Cindy, if that's helpful. I wonder sometimes if that's actually helpful in the conversation. Because if we're being honest and if we're being realistic, it will never be none. There will always be bad people in the world. There will always be people that do bad things. Let me say that. Because I don't know that I believe in good people and bad people. But I think that, so this is my thing, right? When we say that it's all men until it's no men, is that productive to the conversation? Because it will never be none. It will never be not all men. It will never be like no men. So how do we have a productive conversation about it without being all inclusive to everyone? And let me ask you a question. If me saying it's all men until it's no men, is that the same thing as me saying it's all Christians till it's no Christians? It's all Muslims until it's no Muslims? Is that the same conversation? Let me ask that again. Is saying it's all men until it's no men the same thing as saying it's all Christians till it's no Christians? It's all Muslims until it's no Muslims? Are we going to hold a particular group accountable for the actions of a subset within that group? Now, it's also fair to say, if you look at the numbers, I mean, I'm just, you know what I mean? If we can have real conversations about this, because they sound good when you say them, right? I've even said it's all men until it's no men. And then I go, well, but it's really not all men until it's no men. It means that as a woman, I'm going to be prudently cautious around all men until I know that you're not one of those men, or until I know to the best of my knowing that you're not one of those men. Right? And so for me, you're just in a neutral you're in a neutral territory until you show otherwise. Right? And so the question becomes, so all caps says, the problem is the double standard that people use to justify whatever position they're in. And some of us definitely need to be slapped into reality. Yeah, and I agree. We do have to recognize the data, right? I agree that we do have to recognize the data. And so that's what I mean about being prudently cautious, right? That's what I mean about us being prudently cautious. But if we're going to do the data, what is the most dangerous demographic in the United States of America if we're going based on data? What is the most dangerous demographic in the United States of America, especially when it comes to sex crimes and child crimes? That's right. It's white men. Well, see, and that's the great thing, Cindy, is that we don't even have to do it based off opinion. That's statistically data is accurate. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
In the game, I got a mythic.
Did you? I love that you got a mythic.
Snake.
Can you do me a favor? Can you take a drink, please? Can you drink some of your water, either in the bottle or the other one? I need you to drink for me, sissy. Okay, well then drink the other one that I made for you, please. Some people are just, I hate bot accounts. Hey, BB. Also, I also want to say this. For folks that are within driving distance of Charlotte, North Carolina, if you are a paid subscriber, pay attention to the Discord, because I'm gonna drop something in there for you guys. It will be an opportunity to meet up with me in the coming weeks. So Cat Songbird says, we all have the capacity for great good and great evil, empathy and compassion with a backbone should the majority of the world and within each country region before we actually can truly feel safe. Data, we know the answer, right? Yeah, claim to be Christian men are the most dangerous in our country. Yeah, I would say yes. Yep. Texas is not Charlotte, North Carolina. An event, Redwood Dragon. An event, a thing. So it's like, okay. Yeah, so no, this is only going to be for folks that are like paid subscribers that would do this with me. This will not be me presenting anything or me giving a speech, right? Yeah. Yeah, so George, why don't you join me and let's talk about facts. Why don't we do that, George? You want to see that box right there that says request? Join, and then we can talk. I don't know if you're if you're a real account or not. But if you are, by all means, get in the box. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't expect George to do it or not. So I don't know what that means. I'm not joining. I'm going through TikTok now. I don't know what that means, George. I'm going through TikTok now. You're on TikTok. What do you mean? Just weird. Just crazy work. Is that what it is, Marky? I got it. Maybe so. Okay. But what I do want to do is play this clip. So Iran's top negotiator, who I follow, I told you put up a post today following this press conference. And I'm going to play the clip and then I'm going to tell you what they said. He says that his visit to Iran aims to strengthen what he described as a quote unquote new order in the region. And he said that Iran wants deeper security cooperation and stronger relations among Islamic countries in the region, alongside sustainable economic cooperation. And so listen to what he says. Let me share with you guys over here. Yeah, I'm on both. Yeah, I did, Kat. I did. Yeah, 2 Cent, I am on Facebook, Substack, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. I'm on all 5 right now. Yeah, I'm on all 5. That reminds me. I need to put this up because I haven't done it yet. 1 second, folks. Appreciate you, Brandy. By the way, I'm going to drop a hat. I'm going to drop a, oh my gosh, where is it? Shit. I'm going to drop something for my subscribers. There is there's an event happening in Charlotte on the 19th. Don Lemon is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm within driving distance of Charlotte. I consider driving distance anything less than 5 hours. As y'all know, I kind of travel around a little bit, but anyway, and he and DL Hughley are going to be there, and it would be fantastic if I could find a way to link up. So if you all want to take that as a writing initiative, be my guest. Be my guest. Okay, let me play this clip for you guys. Yeah, they're on a tour together. They are on a tour together. Where did it go? Yes, there it is. Yep, the DL and DL tour. You got it. All right, here we go. I'm going to play this for you guys. And I might have to read the translations because I'm sure he's probably speaking Farsi. Whoops. And of course, it's muted. 1 sec. He says during
چندین بار به صورت علنی تصریح کردم که کشورهای
that the Islamic countries of the region
اسلامی منطقه باید دنبال تعاملات
should seek deep security interactions
و روابط امنیتی عمیق باشند که با
nations that will be accompanied
همکاری‌های اقتصادی
sustainable economic cooperation.
پایدار شود و جمهوری اسلامی ایران برای این امر آماده است. من در
So can I turn him down a smidge? Yeah. So basically what he said is he's been saying that Iran is looking for strengthened security relationships and economic support with the other Islamic nations, and they are calling it a new order in the regime. I think this is significant and important because what do you do with this if this happens? So like, I just want you to imagine. So yeah, so the UAE says we're going to stop supporting Iran. He is Iran's chief negotiator. Galibaf. I think that's how you say his name. Ghalibuf. But he posted a picture from this press conference that he did today, and this is what he said on X. He says, Abu Mahdi and the dear Haj Qasim, here's the fruit of your jihad, of your struggle. That's what jihad means, to struggle, and your blessed blood. In the new regional order, foreign powers' interference in the equations between states is receding at an accelerating pace. America is seeking an honorable exit for itself from the region, and the project from the river to the sea for the Zionist entity has become mere fragments of dreams. I don't know who all the people are in this image with him, but what I do know is that he is talking about this new order in the region, and this new collaboration between the other Islamic nations in the region with Iran, and them wanting to provide each other greater security and economic support. I think that's important, and I think people should pay attention and people should note. The UAE has definitely made a play, and they've made it apparent they are aligned with the United States of America, right? They are. They have a lot to do with a lot of the things that are happening around the world, including Sudan and all of those things, right? And so I think it's important that people pay attention, and they know that. Annie Ross, I am not familiar with you. And just because you look like a fairly new account and all of that, could you do me a favor and just drop in the comments like what you'd like to come up and talk about? Hey, Lisa, good to see you. That would be amazing. It helps me out as well. So y'all know that all the deadline for the memorandum of understanding expired without us doing whatever, right? What's up, swells? I also want to say that the Arab League, because of this deal with Ben Gvir making its rounds. So let me tell you what the Arab League has said. The Arab League has condemned Israel's announcement that it had begun establishing a facility to carry out death sentences against Palestinian detainees, warning that executions would constitute a war crime warranting international accountability. The bloc described the move as a dangerous and unprecedented escalation in violations against Palestinian detainees, saying it breaches international humanitarian law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention and its protocols, and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, both of which prohibit the death penalty in occupied Palestinian territory and require protection of detainees from inhumane or arbitrary treatment. The Arab League said a death penalty law passed in March, combined with current preparations to build execution infrastructure, forms part of a systematic policy aimed at eliminating the Palestinian cause and turning Israeli detention facilities into sites for executions in what it called a flagrant violation of international law. Israel's Knesset passed a law, I know that's not how you say that, but it's leaving my brain right now, in March, expanding the use of the death penalty for terrorism-related offenses, drawing criticism from rights groups who warned it could be applied disproportionately against Palestinians. Thousands of Palestinians remained in Israeli detention, many held without trial under administrative detention that rights groups long criticized as arbitrary. Let me ask you all a question. How many of you all know that the United States of America has been holding a journalist been detained for about 300 days? How many of y'all knew this? So ICE has detained Mexican journalist Carlitos Ricardo Parayas, and he has been in our custody in ICE detainment for over 300 after 300 days. Let me see this last thing. Well, shit. Now did we shoot him? Hold on a second. Hold on. Now I'm catching up. I was going to talk about this yesterday. I was going to talk about this yesterday, but then Mila was sick, so I didn't. Yes. Okay. So, yes, he was shot in the arm back in October of 2025. His attorney has told news outlets that he has been denied adequate medical treatment, including pain medication and physical therapy while in detention. He has been detained for over 300 days in ICE custody since October of 2025. This is significant because, to my understanding and to my knowledge, this is the longest the United States of America has held a journalist in custody for this long of a period of time. This is crazy because you all know that going after the press is a really, really big deal. And this is something that this administration has done. And the fact that they have now detained a member of the press for 300 days is absolutely wild. So it's not that I don't think that it's because he quote unquote knows anything. It's because they wanted to crack down on members of the press who were reporting on what was happening with ICE. If you remember back in October of 2025, held. Right. Yep. So his name is, I just gave you his name, Carlitos Ricardo Parias. And so in October of 2025, he was shot in the left arm by federal agents during an immigration enforcement arrest in LA. After initially receiving treatment at a local hospital, his outlets, and in case you're wondering what I'm reading from, I'm reading from an article from the Committee to Protect Journalists. And it says he hasn't been allowed to have, he hasn't been charged. He hasn't had due process. He hasn't had anything. And so he built a large TikTok following covering crime and immigration issues in predominantly Hispanic neighborhoods in LA. He has continued to report from detention via video clips recorded by his visitors, documenting alleged unsanitary conditions at the Adelanto ICE Processing Center in Adelanto, California. In 2025, the Los Angeles City Council honored his community reporting with a proclamation while he's still fucking detained. Wild, crazy work to me. So ICE did not give an immediate reply to this update, but yeah, what in the absolute hell? So, it's wild that in the United States of America, we are detaining a journalist for over 300 days without due process, without charges, without access to adequate medical attention, all of those things. So listen, Swells, I agree with you that it's normal for regular folks, not for journalists. It's not. That's not normal for journalists all around the world, except for in occupied Palestine. Do we respect journalists and their right to report and to do their job and all of those types of things, right? So this is significant here in the U.S. When we talk about not for 300 days and counting, and so it's significant, especially because when you think about our Constitution, it specifically mentions the press, and so it's really important that we do talk about those things and that we draw attention to them. So for those of you all who aren't familiar with this, look it up. And all you have to do is, his name is Carlitos Ricardo Parias. What's up, Mooney? So his TikTok account is Richard Noticias LA, Noticias LA. And so he has been detained in an ICE detention facility for over 300 days with no due process, with no charges, and without access to adequate care. Yeah, that also made my list of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So, I know that I can't cover everything that happens. And so I don't try to. I pick out the things that I think are truly really significant and things that we ought to talk about. And I try to pick things that not everyone else is talking about, because I think that, so for me, and you guys just tell me how you feel about this, I don't know that it's helpful for me to come on TikTok and talk about the things that everybody else is talking about, right? And so I don't. I try to talk about the things that maybe other people aren't talking about, or talking about things that maybe other people are talking about, but from a different perspective, bringing it all around. Because for me, I think that what's most important is not that we talk about all these things. Oh, he was charged and then the judge dismissed them, but he's still being detained. Thanks, Jeff, for double checking that. But I think that it's more important to bring those things around. Like, we're going to talk about these things. And by the way, I don't know if you all saw that one of the individuals that, hey, Matt, that had been force-fed has come forward and given an interview. So do you all remember when I talked about the Guardian reporting about individuals that were being detained by ICE being force-fed? You followed him, Swells? Okay. So one of the individuals that was detained and was force-fed actually came forward and gave an interview. If you haven't seen that, it is definitely worth watching and listening to. So like, I want you all to understand the things that we are doing. And while I've always known that we do really shitty things abroad, we are doing them right here at home, and we are doing them without due process. We are doing them. Yeah, so that's the thing, Shannon. He was charged. The judge dismissed the charges, and he still hasn't been released. I just want y'all to wrap your head around that. There's a journalist that has been detained for over 300 days by ICE. They brought charges. A judge dismissed the charges, and he is still being detained without access to adequate medical care and in unsanitary conditions in the United States of America, home of the free. Answer that to me. So, and let me just say this, you all. When you talk about how do we stop this, I'm going to tell you the way that we stop this is November 3rd. I don't know any other way to tell you all. November 3rd is the opportunity to change this. Giving the Democratic Party the majority in the House and the Senate is how you stop it. And that's not the permanent fix, but that's how you at least stop this madness, right? This is like that's the first bite off the apple on how we kind of get things done. Because so listen, do you know what I started doing? I started looking up all of the different people that have been confirmed and looking at who voted yes for confirmation and who voted no, or who was a real wuss and didn't vote at all. Right? That's what I've been looking at. And it's pretty crazy because while Elise Slotkin did not vote to confirm Pete Hegseth, right? She absolutely voted to confirm Kristi Noem. Oh, thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. How many did you? It was just absolutely wild to me. Who voted for her? So there were 7 Dems that voted for in favor of her. Y'all already know it was fucking Fetterman. That's just how I'm going to refer to him from now on. Fucking Fetterman. or fucking failure, Fetterman. I don't know. Maggie Hassan. Just saying, y'all. I'm so over that man. Which, by the way, did you see that he's not running for re-election as a Dem? Did y'all see that? She was CIA, actually. She was CIA. Elise was. Slotkin. So listen, Fetterman, Hassan, Tim Kaine, Andy Kim, Gary Peters, Jean Shaheen, and Elise Slotkin. So New Hampshire, both senators voted yes. I know, Mohammed OS. I know, friend. I know. And those were the 7 that voted for, but there were 5 Dems that did not vote at all. And I want to see if it tells me who the 5 were that did not vote at all. Let me see. Oh. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, so here are the senators not voting. Okay. So Angus King did not vote for Kristi Noem or against, just didn't vote at all. Jeff Merkley didn't vote at all. Jerry Moran didn't vote at all. Brian Schatz didn't vote at all. Tina Smith didn't vote at all. Raphael Warnock didn't vote at all. And Ron Wyden didn't vote at all. I hope his ass was like sick in the hospital or some shit, because I just, like, what in the absolute hell? It's because that way you're not on the record. That's the benefit, swells. When you don't vote at all, then you can just not be on the record, right? Hey, Pin 1010. A protest abstain has to be done with a message or it's pointless. And to me, so here's my thing. I don't know that there is such a thing as a protest abstain. I'm trying to think, like, under what circumstances would I abstain from voting in protest, when I think the greatest protest that I could have when we're talking about confirmations would just be a flat out fucking no. And to me, I would think not only would it be a no, but I would want to get something as to record, on the record, as to my no, right? I would think that there would be like something like making and I don't know anything about Robert's rules. I don't know how that shit works, y'all, but my thought process would be, I need to, I don't know, make a point of order or some shit in order for me to be able to get something on the record as to why I was voting no. I just would think like there's something else. And right, B action. This is why we should insist on transparency. And so I think it's really critical and important that we begin to hold them accountable for the votes that they do or don't do. And I don't think that that's something that people have been doing, right? Oh, I don't need to touch that. This is why I talk about getting things passed like the Disclose Act and those types of things, so that there is greater transparency. And I think that's really important that people understand that that there are many people in Congress that don't want transparency for a variety of reasons, regardless of the political party that they belong to. And so I just want to be clear, when people hear me say that we have to vote for the Democratic Party come November 3rd, I am not saying that because I don't think that there are any problems or issues within the Democratic Party. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't think that there aren't people in the Democratic Party that need to get the fuck out. I'm not saying that either, because there are. What I am saying is that the greatest, most effective route to stopping the current madness that we are experiencing is a Democratic majority in Congress, in the House and the Senate. That's the most effective route. In 76 days, this country could make a statement that said this is not who we desire to be in any way, shape, or form. And we are not going to throw out the Constitution and all of its amendments and all of its protections at the will of a few. We're not willing to do that. And then come January, we began holding those people that are elected, right, to account and ensure that they do the things that they are supposed to do. Like this is the fastest route. If there was a different way that could be effective, I would say go at it. But here's what I know for sure. We are not going to get any help from Republicans. And why am I saying that? No, Fetterman's not up for re-election yet, Jen Ice. Why am I saying that? Because they've demonstrated it. Every single one of them has folded when it came time to show up for the people, all the way up to and including Cassidy. They've all folded to what this administration and what the higher ups have said. Right? And so if I know that, yes, you should still call. Yes, you should still write. Yes, you should still whatever, because they deserve to know how fucking wrong they are. And at the same time, I don't believe in counting on them. There's nothing to count on. The Republican Party, to be quite frank, is the reason that we are here. Okay, Mohammed. I already know that he did that. I just could not stomach them today. I did see that there was a state legislative slate in PA that was plus 18 Trump in 2024, and it was flipped Democratic. I did see that. And so those are some of the things that are also on here for me to talk about. I just really want to make this point about this being the most direct, shortest, effective route for actual power. So there's a difference, folks, between making gains and making gains that build power. Okay? So it will be great if every seat that is, yes, and it just comes through, ding, 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 ding. He does that. But let me just say this. Every seat that is flipped to a progressive, even an establishment Dem, is a win for where we are right now. Okay, it's a win for where we are right now. And there's a difference between just flipping a seat and building power. You want to flip seats in areas where it builds power. So every seat flipped in your swing states is a great step towards power, right? Because it matters. Every county flip in a district that is 13 points or less is a step towards power. And so you want to look at those areas and those places, and that's what you're trying to build. Yeah, Shannon, 100%. And he doesn't really have a filter. If I'm being honest, he doesn't have a filter. He just sends with no warning. So I might get a notification and boom, boom, boom. It's just I don't know, bloody children in my face, something like that. I'm talking about when I get images sent to me from members of the press that are in Gaza, and sometimes when I get those, there I don't get any forewarning. They just come through, and then it's just what I'm looking at. The images are horrific. Yes, Farah, they are. And again, if we want to do anything about that, it's going to require a shift in the House and in the Senate. It is going to require a shift. In the House and in the Senate. Terry, and I have felt off. Yes, and you need county seats too, 100%, Kat. And we definitely need Board of Education, which reminds me, how many of you all are familiar with a cell phone company called Patriot Mobile? Are you guys familiar with this cell phone company? And I'm not saying this because they don't have cell phone service, because they do. But I want to talk about this cell phone company because it is heavily politically aligned. Oh, you guys, they recruit. They flipped school board seats, a shit ton of them in Texas. They are, yes, yeah. When I tell you that they are, yep, they advertise as a Christian conservative cell phone, but they literally recruited folks for Texas school boards in order to flip them. Yes, like cell phones have a faith. Yes, Jeff. All caps, I agree. Too many people do think that voting is the final step, when in reality, it is the very first step, right? We have to stay engaged and informed, right? Are they the same selling the Trump phone? Don't ask me. Somebody else said that in the comments. I don't know. I just happened to see their some of their ads on TV, and then just the verbiage made me sit up and kind of pay attention. So like when you look at Patriot Mobile, it says wireless, built on faith, family, and freedom. Switch to Patriot Mobile for reliable nationwide coverage, blah, 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 blah. But then it says causes we support. And this is wild to me. But y'all, this is a cell phone. This is a cell phone company. And under it, it says causes we support, mobilizing freedom. And they have the NRA on here. They have Turning Point USA on here. They have Concerned Women for America on here. They have Embrace Grace, Warrior Rising, Gun Owners of America, Mercury One, Lifeline Children's Services, First Liberty, Family Research Council, Action, Soldier Strong, National Association for Gun Rights, Folds of Honor, thanks Brandy, Students for Life of America, Center for Renewing America, Council for Life, Intercessors for America, Helping a Hero, Carry the Load, Conservative Partnership Institute. I could keep going, but there's like a whole slew of them. Women for Gun Rights. Moms for Liberty is on here. That's who they've been getting for the school boards. Mom for Liberty folks. Flag, which is Fly, Lower, and Gather. It's targeted for students. CPAC is also on there. Moms for America. Yeah, and this is a mobile company. No, this is them. This is the parent company. Yeah. Under mission, they have About Us, Our Mission. Then they have the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. Then they have the Sanctity of Life, Patriot Mobile Faith, Patriot Mobile Action. built on trusted coverage driven by kingdom purpose. It is wild. And the thing that I want you all to understand is that this is not only is this a mobile whatever, but this is like I don't want to say front because it is a real company, right? But all of this money, they go to recruit people specifically for their agenda. So listen, this is what's so crazy. Remember, this is a mobile cell phone. Listen to what they said. For over a decade, we have delivered dependable nationwide coverage while standing for faith, family, and freedom. Every plan supports causes that put America first. Our mission for a cell phone company, our mission is to passionately defend our God-given freedoms and rights, uphold the Constitution, advance America's founding principles, and glorify God in all we do. And then here's a picture of the dude behind it all. He's the president of Patriot Mobile, Glenn Story, speaking at CPAC in 2020. So the core pillars of their company is the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life. I'm not sure how that aligns with the Second Amendment, but go ahead. And then military veterans and first responders. They literally are wearing Charlie Kirk t-shirts, courage and faith on the back. And they have one of their organizations is geared towards targeting students. Their last little blog that they put up was 6 days ago. Vote to defend the Second Amendment. And so they literally have their goals listed for 2026. Do y'all want to hear their goals? They participated in Goals 2026, Gun Owners of America's annual Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit. They sponsored the official Goals live stream, which reached more than 700,000 fucking people. And listen to what they said. McClintock says, they emphasize that the nation's future, quote, will not be decided by politicians or pundits, but by citizens who remain, quote, resolute and organized and determined and unshakable in defense of all of our God-given actual rights that the Second Amendment exists to protect, end quote. $700,000 people. Right, Space Ranger Cindy. We need that energy. To be honest, we need that money. Like that kind of money is crazy. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they use everybody's towers. But yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, Kim, I'm on TikTok. You recently saw a commercial for that Patriot phone, and Kevin Sorbo was in the commercial. Girl, I don't know who Kevin Sorbo is. I'd have to look him up. Oh, I see his face. Listen, I don't do celebrities like that, y'all. Hercules. Okay. See, I'm glad y'all know. His ass could walk by me down the street and it wouldn't mean nothing to me. I'm not really starstruck like that. I don't really do. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, y'all. But I wanted people to know, you only know because your dad watched it, fair. But I wanted people to know that this is the length to which they are willing to go. This is the length to which they are willing to go. And it matters because I want to know how far are we willing to go in what we do, right? So one of the things that they are great planners. Yes, Shannon, they plan their work and they work their plan. Small, because you had a bigger one earlier today. And I'm just letting you because I want to get rid of it. How did they come to exist? I don't know, but it's been more than a decade. So if I were a betting girl, I would say they came into being right around 2015, 2014, when they were putting together this plan for what it was going to look like for a 2-term president that was going to be Republican. There was a plan, there was an agenda for what they needed to accomplish, and all they've done is revamp it. All they've done is pivot. All they've done is, oh, well, we hit a little bump in the road. The bump was Biden. They hit a little bump in the road. They adjusted for that bump, and then they kept on pushing. And that is something that progressives don't do, and they don't do well enough. Yeah, babe. Yeah. What, honey? I know. Maybe tomorrow, because we got to see if how your belly does. Okay. Diversity of thought okay. So Jeff, I don't know. Okay. So let me tell you guys what Jeff said. Okay. Jeff said that's always been a strength and weakness on the left. Diversity of thought equals harder to lockstep. And I don't know that I agree. When it's time, Blue Honey Pot. But listen, I don't know that I agree that it's harder to lockstep. I think that it can be harder to lockstep when you don't identify the foundational truths that exist within all of that diversity of thought. Right? And so that's one of my things, right? So follow me on this, Jeff. I think one of the reasons that the Democratic Party has a hard time getting everyone in lockstep is because they are not focused on the core elements that everyone agrees on. And so if you were to ask someone today, what are the core values of the Democratic Party? I don't know that you would get the same answer if you ask 4 or 5 different people within the Democratic Party, even leadership in the Democratic Party. I don't know that if you asked Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris and Hakeem Jeffries and anybody else, I don't know that if you said, tell me the core values of the Democratic Party, what does your party stand for? I don't know that they have a clear message that says that. And that's part of the problem. It needs to be clear, and it needs to be short, and it needs to be concise. Right? Right, because they don't have one. You said no, they don't. You looked. Okay. So if we were going to hone it down, right? It needs to be an elevator speech. Yes, Terry, 60 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds tops, right? What would be my elevator pitch? Because y'all know I don't belong to the Democratic Party. I do tend to vote for Democratic candidates because that's the policies that that are aligned the closest with my principles. I don't know why I got so tongue-tied just now. But okay, so if I were speaking on behalf of the Democratic Party, and I would say, so it would be 2-part messaging. Okay, it would be 2-part messaging for me. I would say the Democratic Party stands for I want to see what word I want to use for this particular thing. I would say protecting and empowering working class people. I would use both of those words, protecting and empowering working class people. Thanks, Terry. So listen, hold on, y'all. You asked for my damn elevator pitch. Shh. Okay. Okay. So I would say protecting and empowering working class people. That would be first and foremost. And then I would say, what, baby? Okay. I'm almost done. Okay. Okay. Love that. I would be protecting and empowering working class people. Securing and strengthening the position of the United States globally, because that's lacking right now. Nobody cares about humanity first, you guys. It's not a winning message. Humanity first is not a winning message. I wish it was. But listen, how do I know humanity first is not a winning message? Because we're all watching a fucking genocide play out, not just in Gaza, but in Sudan, in Congo. It's not a winning message. I am talking about messaging that appeals across the board. So first, it would be protecting and empowering working class people. It would be securing and strengthening the position of the United States of America globally, because we need that. And then third would be about so when you say equity, so when you say people first, literally people was the first thing I said, y'all. The very first thing I said was protecting and empowering people, which includes equity, which includes people first. Protecting and empowering people includes people, right? Two is securing and then strengthening the global position of the United States of America. And then three, that's included in number two, Jarvis. And then three would be innovation and it would be innovation and elevation with integrity. Innovation and elevation with integrity. And so, you know, what we have right now in this country is a lot of innovation and elevation, but it lacks integrity. And when it lacks integrity, it's at the cost of the people. And so that automatically addresses affordability, right? Because if we pursue innovation and elevation, and it's rooted in integrity, then people don't get price gouged. Then corporations don't have 500% profit margins, and people get hurt, right? Exactly, Cindy. And the cost to the planet. We do it with integrity. And so those would be, if I were going to establish a revised, renewed Democratic Party platform, those would be the three principles: protecting and empowering working class people, securing and strengthening the United States position globally, and three, innovation and elevation with integrity. Those would be the three things. Now, now I have to put it in everyday words. I got that. So listen. So So when I say protecting and empowering working class people, so what that means is keeping people from being exploited by corporations and or the government, while also giving them the means to not just survive but thrive in this country. That's number one. Number two, reestablishing relationships with our allies and creating new relationships that help secure the position of the United States of America, that is not solely through the military-industrial complex, but all of the other things that we have to offer as a country as well. Three, innovation and expansion, or what did I say? Elevation. So that means, yes, we want to explore and advance in technologies, just not at the expense of people and not at the expense of the planet that we live on. And it means operating with integrity so that we never need another Aaron Brockovich, so that we never need another, whatever the dude's name is that did the insurance one, whatever, right? And so that's what that means. It means putting people before corporations, right? And putting in policies that protect those people. So that's the way that I would say it. If I were running the Democratic Party, which I am not, but if I were running the Democratic Party, the website would say, first and foremost, it would say, number one, yes. So it would say, number one, protecting and empowering people. And then what are the subsets of that? Protecting and empowering people. That includes universal health care, right? That includes affordability. That includes housing initiatives. That includes SNAP and WIC and Medicaid and all of the things, right? That includes getting toxins out of our water and all of that. That includes addressing PFAS and all of those different types of things. Yeah, that's when we talk about protecting and empowering people, it includes all of those things. That even includes infrastructure, right? Right, economic stability. You got it. Right, and then when we talk about securing and stabilizing, securing and strengthening our position globally, right? There are ways that encompasses a lot of things. That includes trade. That includes proxy wars. That includes yep, all of those things. And then the last is the integrity. What did I say? The last one is innovation and elevation with integrity. And so that again is about accountability. Hey Zoe, what's up? Courage to Walk. And so that's about accountability with corporations, with our government, with our contracts, our relationships. Yep, diplomacy and cooperation is absolutely part of number two. Yeah. And it's getting rid of this me, America is an island unto herself, because she's not. And she cannot be, right? Hey, Michelle, what's up? So that would be what I would say to the Democratic Party. They need to have strong messaging, and they need to get out of Jeff, you're hilarious. They need to get out of culture wars. Because if we focus on the foundational things that I just said, they address the issue of culture wars. Because right now, there's a group of people that believe the only thing that the Democratic Party is about is culture wars. They think that that's all the Democratic Party is focused on, are those small, minute issues that are culture wars. And they're not. And so they need to be talking to that. Right, because the things that I just said apply to everyone. Right? So that would be the way that I would say it, because the way that I would say it would be accurate and it would apply to everyone. It would also eliminate all of the rampant, incessant talk about culture wars. I don't have to say all lives matter, LGBTQ rights matter, trans lives matter. I don't have to say any of that when I just say when I say protecting and empowering working class people. And the reason why I didn't say protecting and empowering rich people too is because they don't need protection. That's what their money buys them, and they don't need to be empowered. They already have too much fucking power. Now, that doesn't mean cause harm to them. There's no discrimination against rich people. There's definitely accountability for rich people's companies and rich people's actions, though. That would be my messaging. And that's how I would take it to people, and that's how I would present it to people. Yeah, rich people will be fine. Not AI summary talking about debating a new Democratic Party platform focused on working class people. Imagine that, AI. It's a great summary, though. Great summary. Yeah. And so this is my thing. Part of me is, how can I say this? Because of some of the work that I was doing in 2022 and 2023, there were some opportunities that had come my way in relationship to the Democratic Party. And since I started talking about Palestine and Gaza, those opportunities have gone away. I don't get, they just dried up. No conversation about them, nothing, just dried. And there's a part of me that is sad about that. And there's also another part of me that says, if I lose an opportunity because I'm standing up against a genocide, then it's not an opportunity that I want. And it's not people that I want to do opportunities with. So listen, folks, let me say this. So what I'm going to do really quickly, Mohammed OS is with us. You know that he has twins, and he is in Gaza, and they are in a tent. I'm not going to bring anybody else up but him. Thanks, Brandy. To give you an idea, it takes around 5,000 to 7,000 coins to do like a good meal that includes meat or whatever and veggies. So if you guys have anything that you would like to gift, please do. But I'm going to bring him up for just a little bit. I don't know how to tell him to stay on mute, but I need for him to do that. Yeah, so if you guys want to do that, there's also an LINK in his bio if you want to check it out. I don't know where he went, but he should show up.
Salam Dani, how are you?
Salam Mohammed. Y'all hear the crickets in Gaza?
Miss you, Dani. Miss you, everyone.
Miss you too, Mohammed.
Dani, in Gaza, no good. In Gaza, in the fire bomb, fire.
I know.
And Dani, no good in Gaza.
I know.
I am so sorry. Children and women, Israel, children and women, and fire bomb.
I know. He's describing the bombings that are taking place in Gaza, and there are people. I pulled up some reports to share with you all today. It's just nonstop. There is no ceasefire in Gaza, folks. There just really isn't. It's important for people to know and to understand that. There's a lot of sickness. There's a lot of rat infestations, insects and things like that. He's showing you inside the tent right now. So appreciate you guys helping out. It's been a while since he's been on the panel, and
Dani.
Yes, Mohammed.
Look in Khima.
I see the tent.
No good in Khima.
Yeah, I see.
No good. Look.
Yeah, the tent is
Look.
Yep, I see, friend. I see.
No good.
I know.
Look,
I know.
I am so sorry, Dani. No good. And حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. I am sorry, Dani. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Mohammed. It's okay. So the last time I heard him, no, Kat, because the TikTok one is on my phone. But what I can do is I'll post a clip, and if you're in my Discord, I'll post pictures of him. The last time I heard Mohammed sound like this was when they were bombing the North really, really bad, and he needed to get him and the family out. And he literally was just crying for me to help them. And so we raised some money and got him a truck and got the family down to the South. But yeah, so guys, you can also help directly. He has an LINK in his bio and also in my link tree. So for those of you guys that are over there, I see you, Jamie. For those of you all who are over there that want to help out, you can go to his LINK and help him out directly that way. So there's two ways: TikTok coins, because they can convert them into crypto, and they can use them. And then the other way is direct support. It's in his bio, and it's also in my link tree if you want to be able to help. He's got two twins that are 8 months old now, Hatham and Halia. And then he has Osama, who is 4. Little boy Osama, who is 4. His mother lives with him. His sister lives with him. His brother was martyred during the G-side. His father and is also there. His father used to have a job at a hotel, but of course, that's not a thing anymore. So yeah, thanks, Kat. Appreciate it. So those are the ways that you can help, folks. Yeah. Oh, Kat, it's okay. Kat, no worries. So one of the things that I say, Kat, is listen, if you can't afford to help financially, listen to me. Your energy, your heart, your prayers, all of that stuff that you feel, this is my personal belief, is that your desire to give will be met by somebody else that has the financial means. I just believe, because money is energy. Yeah, he is. Money is energy. And so when you give out that energy, then it will get met with somebody who has the means and the ability. Okay? Just so you know. Big fucking W to all of the gifters today. That's really helpful for him. Yeah. So I haven't heard him this sad in a while, which makes me almost scared to open up my WhatsApp, because he messaged me earlier today, but Mila was not feeling good and she wanted to snuggle, and so I didn't open them at the time. I didn't get in my messages. Yeah, he's almost always smiling. Butter's house, he almost always is. The other thing that you can do, besides monetarily supporting, is apply pressure to our members of Congress on every side of the aisle. We are committing war crimes by supporting Israel, according to our own law and according to international law, and it matters. It matters. And I don't know about you all, but this is not who I want us to be. I don't give a fuck who we've been. Maybe this is who America's always been, and largely historically, that's accurate. but it's not who we have to be moving forward. We can choose not to be that moving forward. We can choose. We don't have to be that moving forward. I'm quite sure that I'm actually really surprised right now that my requests have stayed really quiet because of the time it is. Okay, so when he hits 40, there you go, Masani, appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop him down. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. Mohammed, Inta Galbi, Mohammed.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you, all everyone. I love you.
We love you too. We love you
انت
too.
انت قلبي انت قلبي داني انت قلبي انت حبيبي داني. I love you والله. I love you all.
We love you,
Thank
Mom.
you, thank you, thank you.
You're
والله
welcome.
I love you.
We love you. We love you. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. So for those of you guys who don't know, Inta Gelbi, it just means you are my heart. Yeah, it's another way of saying I love you. Inta Gelbi is you are my heart. Wala is a lot or so much. And yeah, so that's what he was saying to me. Y'all can hear my screensaver in the background, giving you nighttime music. Yeah, he's really, really broken right now, Marky. Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to drink.
Okay, cowboy, I got you. Thanks for tapping. Okay, so Spicy Rick, did you mean to request up? Spicy Rick, did you mean to request up? Yeah. Okay. And Jamie, I saw that. I'll get it to him. I have stuff to send to Abu Siraj this week, so I'll send that to Mohammed as well. So Renee, it wasn't that anything happened. There's been increased bombings in Gaza, and there was some significant folks that passed from the bombings this week. And so he and his wife both were recently sick, and they have the twins, and then they have Osama, who is 4, and so things are just really, really hard, right? 10 people unalived yesterday, so yeah, so it's a lot, and so yeah. Spicy, where'd you go? Spicy, where'd you go? I was getting ready to unmute you. I want you all to remember, though, that I just played a clip of Israel's national security dude, Ben Gvir, saying that there should be killings every night, 30 to 40, he said. Yeah, his tent is in rough shape, and like we've helped several times over the last year with tents, but it's been through the winter and then through the summer, and it depends, Lisa. I would have to ask now because the prices of tents change depending upon demand and whether or not the UNICEF or any of them have free ones to give or how much they're charging. So a lot of the aid trucks that are getting through are commercial aid trucks, and that commercial aid is going to the vendors for the people to buy stuff. So if there's 6 trucks, maybe 2 of them are aid that's free, and the other are going to be commercial trucks. Appreciate you, Jazz. And so it's really something, because they need at least 6 or 7 of those trucks free aid to come in every day just for them to be okay. No, I'm lying. It's like 600 trucks a day. Yeah, Farah. It's so this is my thing, right? So let me just say this. I am tired of strongly worded letters. I don't want to see any more like rebukes or just statements. I would like to see one of the countries in the United States of America issue sanctions against Israel. Israel needs to be sanctioned, and aid needs to stop going to Israel while they are illegally occupying Palestine, while they are illegally occupying Syria, while they are illegally occupying Lebanon, right? They should be held to account. Period. And that's not, that should not be a controversial statement. So I would think that anybody in the United States of America would not want the country participating in a genocide. When their leaders are on the internet unabashedly bragging and saying they should all be killed, and that that even calling them people is doing them a favor because they're not even people, right? I think that everybody should want to be a people, right? And we've sanctioned countries for a lot less. Hell, we just sanctioned judges in the ICC, right? We just sanctioned judges in the ICC. So, like, what the heck? So, like, yeah. So, I mean, Jeff, that hasn't passed, right? That hasn't passed. I don't think that it's going to pass. To be frank, I don't think that it's going to pass the NDAA. And I think that if we want to make sure that it's not going to pass, then there needs to be a Democratic majority in Congress. Yep. Listen, it's not just about writing and emailing your elected officials. It's about putting that stuff out to the press, writing letters to the editor. All of those things actually matter. They don't like bad press. They don't like it. Write letters to the editor, hold them accountable for their votes and for their actions. And that's what we need to be doing. Part of my concern is that Americans are going to have to be so, I don't want it to take, so Jeff, the Senate, yeah, Jamie, it is. So here's the thing. I don't think the Senate's gonna, so they didn't keep that section. What they did was they wrote a different version is what the House did that they passed. But I think it's really important. So listen, what they don't like, because listen, if you contact your representative, which you should, but if you just contact your representative, that communication is just between you and them, and no one else knows. But if every time you contact them, you post about it on social media, and you tag them in that post, and you say, hey, this is how many times I'm contacting my representative, and this is what I have or I haven't heard back, right? What if you did that? What if you wrote a letter to the editor and said, this is what I've sent to my congressman, this is what I've sent to my congresswoman, this is what I've sent to my senator, and this is what they did or didn't say in response? All of a sudden, that's accountability. So somewhere buried in my link tree, I put together these steps for contacting your elected officials. And I'm going to see if I can't look at it real quick. I'm going to see if I can find it for you. Yes. Nope. That's another thing I put together for folks. Give me 1 second. Shit. Ha! I made a graphic. I found the graphic. Okay, are you guys ready? So this graphic is somewhere in my link tree, and what I will do is I will boost it for you guys so that you can see it. But it's steps for emailing your representative. So step 1, write a clear, concise email to your representative with a specific ask and a request for a reply. So you need to ask them to take an action or not take an action, and then ask them to reply to you. You want a reply. Always ask for them to hear, for them to reach out to you. Okay. Step 2, take a screenshot of the email, including the to and the from and the date information. So that way you can prove this is when I sent it. This is who I sent it to. This is the date that I sent it on. Then you post that screenshot of the email to your social media channels and you tag your representatives in that post. Okay. Step 4, after 3 days, post the reply or the fact that you didn't get a reply to your social media, tagging that representative and your local media outlets. And then step 5, repeat as necessary until your elected official responds appropriately. So these are the 5 steps, and it's in my link tree, but I will put it in there again. Yeah, I did this like literally, I don't know, almost 2 years ago now. But anyway, but that way, because here's the thing, what they hate is they hate to be held to account publicly. They can't stand it. They do not like it. Let me see if I can. What was this in regarding? Oh, so like do y'all remember when I gave you guys things to include when you were emailing your representatives about the confirmations? So this is another document that I did for you guys. Yeah, Geo, way back at the beginning. And so right, Kat, op-eds in papers and the online showing financial ties and votes from congressional records is also great. So one of the other things when we were talking about, because we knew that the cabinet members that were going to be nominated were going to be really shitty, right? When we saw Matt Gaetz, when we saw Pete Hegseth, when we saw Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Linda McMahon, all of those individuals, we knew it was going to be horrible. And so I had put together, and this is so these 3 things are really great to include when we're looking at all different types of nominations, whether they are for judicial appointments or the cabinet. But I'll share with you what the 3 things I said to include were in this. Number 1, the Constitution. The United States has maintained a successful experiment of democratic governance by adhering to the ideals outlined by the founding fathers. Those ideals include a separation in our branches of government to ensure a system that includes checks and balances. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution specifically outlines your responsibility, this was to our senators, to appropriately vet and confirm the appointments of the president. Number 2, national security. Ensuring the safety and security of the country is essential. Background checks and thorough vetting are critical for the individuals filling the top positions in our government. And point 3, While many politicians may treat their position as their personal career and govern themselves as if their assent is the only thing that matters, you represent the will of the people. The people elected you to represent them in your role as outlined by the Constitution. We rely on you to do your part in ensuring the success of our democratic constitutional republic. So those were the three things that I recommended. Attorney Dye likes Dani. I like Attorney Dye. That when we are emailing and our senators with regard to our nominations and things like that, that we remind them of. These things are important. This is the role. It was outlined in the Constitution for a reason this way. And the fact of the matter is we have a Senate that is compromised, significantly compromised. When it comes to foreign policy, it's compromised with Israel. When it comes to domestic policy, it's compromised by this administration. And the only fix to that is for the American people to change the leadership of that Senate. And it doesn't mean that the Democratic Party is perfect with their senators. It sure doesn't. But what it means is this is the first step to correcting our course that we are currently on and ensuring that we arrive at a different destination that includes full protections of rights for people, following the Constitution, all of those things, right? And so that's the part that's incredibly important. You know, on this app and out here, people like to automatically say, "Oh, you're blue, you're left, you're this, you're right." Let me tell you what I am. I am balanced, and I am for accountability on all sides. I can recognize the places where both parties are culpable, and I can also recognize the places where they are very different, right? And the places where they are culpable are outside the American people for the most part, and it tends to align more with foreign policy. And that being the case, I have to start at home. Appreciate that. And so that's really important that we understand that we have to actually kind of take this thing step by step. And it doesn't always feel warm and fuzzy. It doesn't always feel great. But as long as we are making gains and we are making progress, that's literally the path forward. And that's what sits in front of us right now, right? There is no microwave solution to where we are. I wish there were, but there's not. It's going to be a shit ton of work, a lot of really hard conversations, right? But we can do this. We can do hard things. And ensuring the safety, security, and the existence of our country as a stable, democratic, constitutional republic is going to be a hard thing. And it can be done. It can be done. And that's the thing that I want you to remember at all times and always and all things. Right? Yep, it's a marathon for the rest of your life. And how do you run a marathon? 36,000 steps at a time. One step, repeated 36,000 times. That's it. And so every day you have to do something that is one step. And what does that look like for you? Because it's going to look like something different for everybody. So like, y'all know me. I like to be as transparent as I possibly can. I did not feel like going live today. Number one, I had Mila's shit that she picked up last week. So like on Sunday, I was vomiting and had diarrhea on Sunday. I know that's TMI, but it's true. And then I've been nauseous. Today's the first day that I haven't had nausea all day. And then I've been taking care of her. So that means like being up at 4 a.m. or whatever. Shut up, Veronica. No, I can't. And just tired, right? And so, but so resisting 47, remember this, that's third circle. And so now what we do is we figure out how to up that number before now and midterms, right? I will say this, she did eat a tiny bit for supper and didn't, as long as I make it through the night and she doesn't vomit and throw up, that means she's on the path forward. Okay. But I needed to do what I needed to do. And let me tell you what, I believe that I was supposed to go live tonight. I do. And I think that I was supposed to go live and Mohammed OS was supposed to show up here when nobody else was here. I do. I think that, there's a lot there's a lot of work that I have to do, which by the way, I don't know if Cat Whisperer is in here or not, but I don't know that she knows she has access to upload the rest of those documents, but she does. So those are things that I'm going to work on this week. Yes, and 100%. Yeah, Matt, I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, you guys, Project for the People has almost 1,500 people in it. And we are in almost 550 counties across the country, which is almost 20% of the counties in this country. And we are in all 50 states. And I don't give a shit if it's just one person in one state. In 4.5 months, using just social media on a platform that does its best to restrict me or restrict visibility, right? That's a hell of an accomplishment. And you all are doing the work. I saw somebody post today that they just got door knockers from Project for the People. And I love that, right? So however you are out here doing this work, this is what we got to do, right? I want you all to remember that this Friday night, I will be on Sirius XM Progress, channel 127. That's their Progress channel. I will be on the 7:00 hour, I think right around 7:15. It is the Dean Abdallah show. I'll be on with Joe Sudbay again. And I'll be talking all things politics, including Project for the People. And just, kind of what we talk about on here, and all the things. So just tune in if you can. If you don't know what Project for the People is, go to makingamericatruly.great.com. Take a look, take a read, see what you think. And if it sounds like something you can get behind, sign up. You'll get an email from me. I really do, even though I'm tired sometimes, and even though sometimes I feel like, fucking A, is it even making a difference? And that does happen. I do believe in the work. I do. I believe in the work more than I believe in anything else. And we just have to do what's necessary. As long as each of us continues to expand the information in our communities. Oh, Eric, it's not about whether I matter. It's about whether the work is mattering. I'm not even familiar with what that is, Kat. I'm not even familiar with what that is. So I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she said, "Girl, what do you do besides like working the kids?" And I was like, "Nothing. Working the kids. Working the kids." And so I'd be down for it, Kat. Have them reach out to me. Both of you guys are telling me about different podcasts. Here's the thing. So listen, when I'm not live, I don't hang out on social media a ton. And I don't listen to a lot of different podcasts and whatever. I just don't have the time. So here's what I will say to you all. Feel free to organize me joining a podcast somewhere. Feel free. Feel free. Reach out to my mods, whether that's Cam or Sandy or Veronica or Witch. Feel free. Set that shit up and we'll make it happen. When do I find my time to do my deep dives? I don't know. I just make it happen. Sometimes Dominic says he knows when I'm very serious about whatever it is I'm doing, because even when I go to bed, I bring the laptop with me and I'm working while I'm sitting on the bed. So, I do sleep, y'all. I do. somewhat. I just know that this is a really important time, and there's a lot of really important work that needs to get done. A lot of really important work. No, Kimber, I didn't. Yeah. Yeah. So I think here's the thing. Yeah, I've heard of Michelle's podcast just because I see clips of it on social media. Oh, I love that, Erica. I hope it makes a difference too. One of the things, let me give you this, Erica, as a reminder. Let me just give you this. Erica said, "I'm running for city council. I hope all of our work makes a difference." I want to give you something that I heard Stacey Abrams talk about when when her campaign lost in 2022. She said, "There's multiple ways of winning. There's multiple ways to measure if you win." And so she talked about them setting a record for early voting turnout. That was a win. There's different ways when you say, "I hope it makes a difference." Look for the wins wherever they are. Look for more voter turnout. Look for more community awareness. Look for more conversations. Look for more engagement. Look for more people voting, and then of course look for the win. But it's all of those things combined together that keep you going. You got to find the glimmers. You got to find the glimmers and find the wins wherever you can find them. Exactly, Jeff. Sometimes the win is just bringing focus to an issue with voters. Exactly. And one of the things that I keep reminding myself is that I got it, Kat. Appreciate it. One of the things that I just keep reminding myself is that, I don't see everything that happens as a result of the work. Right? I'm not omnipresent. I mean, not God, but anyway, yeah, I'm not everywhere. So I would say I don't get to see 99% of what happens behind the scenes. Right. Maybe after midterms. And so I remind myself of that. I remind myself that I don't get to see every ripple. Yeah, Veronica, that's what I was just debating on. I think so, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to have to take her tomorrow or not. So I'm going to send out an email and I'll just let everybody know early in the morning, like what the deal is. Yeah. I taught you how to have a real conversation with a conservative. I love that. I love that. I love that. So can I ask you guys to do a favor? Can I ask some of you guys that have been with me the longest, or even if you're new, I don't really care how long you've been with me. Will y'all do me a favor? If there is something meaningful that you have gotten out of being on this social media platform with me, if there's something that you've learned, if there's something that you've implemented, if there's something that's like made you have a shift, could you put something together that tells me what that is? Like if you want to type it up, that would be amazing. If you want to record a little video, that would be amazing. But I would love to hear that. I would love to hear it. That would be amazing. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. Hey, Kat, I saw you tiptoe your way in here. As many as you got. Kat, I saw you tiptoe your way in here, babe. Did you see the invite? Because it went to your email address for the Google Drive several days ago. Where would I like for you to send them? That's a good question. No, Renee, I'm not leaving lives. No. Your Gmail one. Gmail. That one. Okay, where should I send these to? Where can I have you send these to that would be the most effective? So you can tell me when you send it to me whether you want the video to be shared with others or not. How about that, Letty? Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. I think so. Listen, I'm going to tell you. So let me just tell you. Sometimes I think it would be helpful on the days where I'm feeling like really shitty. I could just go and listen or read you guys' words. Somewhere I actually read messages. Yes, Veronica. Somewhere that I actually read messages. Dear God. I would like for you to send them. I'm thinking about like which Discord, you'll have a problem. Discord, the only thing is that so listen, here's what you would have to do if you're going to do a video in Discord, because they have an issue with like the length of your video that you can do. Hey, Doug. So what I would say is, yeah, Marky, that's what I'm thinking. Give me 1 second. I'm thinking, y'all. Because I really want these. And so I don't want it to be somewhere crazy. Ooh, that's a good idea. I don't know how many people, some people might not use it though. Coolest mom ever. She said private Facebook group. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I still do. Some of us boycotted Facebook. I know. I don't, because I have like 35,000 followers on there, and my family is over there, so I keep it. Okay. All right. Oh, you remember when Facebook was just with an edu email address? I do not remember that, sir. I was late to the party. I was late to the party. So I'm going to test something really quickly, because I just need to see where this email goes. Give me a second. And then I think this is the one that I will use. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I sent it over there. Now let me check over here. Ha! It did go there. Okay, so now I can tell you where you can send it. You can send it to Dani. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really fucking good idea, funny face. Hold on. That's a really good idea. I like that idea better than what I just did. Give me a second. This is great. What you just said is great. Okay, you can send it to Danikins, Danicans, Danikins at, hold on. Girl. Complete the puzzle. I'm completing the puzzle. It's verifying if I'm human, which I think I still am. Okay, so you can send it to Danikins at proton.me. Okay, Danikins at proton.me. That's it, Jay Nice. Perfect. You got it. John Lee, you want to come to the yep, that's it, Titus. You want to come to the I know. You can send it from any email. It's just an encrypted email. Oh, okay. Yeah, you send it from any. So there you go. Danikins at proton.me. You got it, Letty. That is it. Yep, you got it. Yeah, amazing. Appreciate you guys. So, John Lee, where'd you go? Because I would like to have the conversation with you. John Lee, where did you go? Yes. So listen, when you send the email, if you do not want it shared publicly, just tell me. Or if there are parts of it that you want not shared, just tell me. So Penny GF, what I asked, people were saying in the comments things that they had learned from me or whatever. Like somebody was like, you taught me how to have a real conversation with a conservative. And I was like, oh, so this would be really cool. So like if there's something about this space being in my live streams that you've learned or that have benefited you in some way, shape, or form, drop a few lines. And you can either write it in an email, you can record a video, it's whatever you want to do. And if there are parts of it that you don't want me to share or ever post, then I won't. You know, I don't know what I would use it for at this point, other than it would just be nice to read, especially on the days where I'm feeling really shitty. Except for the days when I'm feeling really shitty, because those days do happen, right? Appreciate it, Red Hot. So yeah. Yeah, so that's what this is. So listen, so let me just, I'm going to, yeah, you're signing my yearbook. Yeah, you're signing my yearbook. People that I like, I want to get one from everybody. it would be amazing to get some from some of the MAGA or former Trump folks. That'd be amazing to get to, right? But anyway, okay, so I didn't cover everything that I wanted to cover. Sure, Titus, sure. We could talk more about primaries and midterms tomorrow. I am cracking up at the AI summary. Sharing a new secure email for feedback. Send your thoughts to. And it misspelled Danikins. Bless its heart. This is why I don't love AI. Or one of the reasons why I don't love AI. But yeah. Cool beans. Oh, look. Okay, so hello. Yep. So I just got an email after I spelled it. Right. After I spelled it. DANICAKNS. And by the way, Kim, I love your signature at the bottom. Her signature at the bottom says, "Hey, remember that guy who almost made it but gave up? Neither does anyone else." That's pretty awesome. I love that. I don't know if there was supposed to be an attachment, my love, but there wasn't. Oh, good Lord, red hot. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. That's funny, Kat. All right, so listen. So here's what we're gonna do. This is the plan. All right. My plan is to be live to. Yep, that I know. Yep. So the plan is for me to be alive, be alive. Oh my God, yes, that is the plan. But for me to also be live tomorrow. What the fuck? The plan is for me to be live tomorrow at the normal time in the morning, right? I might be tired, y'all. To do our normal live. As long as Mila's good and I don't end up having to take her to the ER or the pediatrician. So that's the plan. If she is sick and I have to take her to the pediatrician or to the ER, then I won't be live in the morning and I'll be live at some point, some other time. Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, Zen. Other than that, am I still going to start at 9 a.m.? Yes. And Sandy, no, she's not. And so this is my thing. She slept. No, I didn't. DANICACANS, Danikins. So that's my thing. So Sandy, this is the reason because I actually called the pediatrician back today, because she slept so much today, so much. And then I verbally said, "Okay, girl, that's because I was remembering what the fuck AI typed." It's DANICANS. Yeah, I know, Titus. But then she was like, "Tutu, my legs hurt." And I was like, "Hurt like what?" And she was like, "They just hurt." So she has like the leg aches, which lets me know she was dehydrated. So I was like, "Oh my God, I need to push some fluid some more," and all of that. So yeah, it's been a day. Yeah, AI spelled it DANNEKINS or something crazy. So, but so that's the plan. Yeah, remember Dani Cans. Y'all named yourselves, damn it. This was y'all's name. This is the Danikins. Oh well, Cheryl, I hope that everything is good over there. Like for real. Yeah, I'm just saying, Penny, y'all picked up the damn name, Danikins. All right. Love y'all, mean it. I will see you all tomorrow. Yes, read your merch if you have it. It says Danikins. Yes, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Peace out, people. See you later.